now entering the Bass Galaxy.
This is Teal's Bass Galaxy. I'm your host. This podcast is about raw, real conversations with real awesome people about bass fishing, bass boats, and heck, there are no limits in the galaxy. Teal's Bass Galaxy is brought to you by Veselka Fishing and Customs and just north of Memphis BBQ, also known as JNO Memphis. Today's guest is probably the greatest angler to come out of Minnesota. He's a national name now. Ladies and gentlemen, the power of Tower, the Sultan of Sweat, the great one, Seth, I'm a lover, not a street fighter. Ladies and gentlemen. Dude, thanks for coming out to the Bass Galaxy,
Cheers.
Mr. Feider.
Hell yeah.
It's a pleasure. Welcome, dude. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Should be fun.
Anytime, dude. And it's been a pleasure just watching you and fishing against you since I fished like the Big Bass Bonanza when I was a kid. And now to watch you fish in the Elite Series, winning AOI, and being real as fuck about it too. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
And
appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. So I know you do a lot of bass fishing, but I want to learn a little bit more about ducking and goosing.
Okay.
You know, because I'm a fisherman, I'm not a hunter.
Yeah.
But you seem to like ducking and goosing with the old shotgun and
turkey on.
turkeys.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know jack about that.
Okay.
But I know it's like hunting's like fishing, right?
There's a lot of similarities for sure.
Okay. So walk me through a mallard hunt and how does it compare to like bass fishing in that sense?
It's a lot different. I'm no expert on like any form of hunting by any means. I just really love to do it. But yeah, duck hunting, it's a totally different experience, but you're still, you're in Mother Nature and there's a lot of factors that go into it that, make times better than others and whatnot. But, yeah, mallard hunt, I don't know. It's a lot different. You got to do your homework. It's a lot kind of like pre-fishing and then, find the birds, find where they're going, see if you can get set up on them, whether you have to get permission or it's public or whatever. And, yeah, just being underneath like a big group of mallards coming in on you is like, I don't know, like catching a 6-pound bass in a tournament pretty much.
So they have like flight patterns, like they migrate. Like,
yeah, for sure. Like weather systems, cold weather will push them through. A lot of the birds around here that we shoot late in the year, they pretty much winter here, but they'll show up hopefully before the season's over, but sometimes not. Kind of that mid-end of November time frame. And yeah, they just as far as like flights and stuff go, like in the morning's always good depending on what they're doing. We shoot a lot of them in the afternoon too, like in cornfields and stuff. But
Sure.
yeah, you just whatever they do the day before, hope they do it again the next day. Or there's never a right answer. Something you're wrong just as much as thinking fish are going to be on docks this day and they're not.
Right.
Same deal.
So like is like a good duck spot it's not like a Tonka spot where you got poachers left and right, or like do you have to worry about like people finding your duck hunting holes and shit?
Yeah, but a lot of them are public. They're not gonna. That's the other thing. Like fish, and you find fish on a spot, they'll be there for weeks, or something.
Sure.
Up here, like down duck hunting and stuff. If it's on public, it's gonna get shot the next day. Like
Gotcha.
no doubt about it. And then it's done.
Sure. Sure.
So you're just constantly chasing around. There's no like finding a honey hole and going.
Burning them down.
I mean, sometimes you might get 2 hunts out of a spot, but the second one's never as good. And
sure.
I mean, sometimes in the course of a year you can maybe get 3 hunts out of a spot, but it's pretty. It's not like a fishing hole you can go catch fish every day off of.
Gotcha. So it doesn't reload, so to speak.
No.
Okay.
No. They don't like dying. That's like their number one goal is to not die.
Can't reproduce if you're dead, I suppose.
Yeah. They got a will to live.
Right. What's your gad of choice?
I'm a 28 gauge guy now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like semi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Semi-auto Benelli.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I've shot clays.
Sweet little gun.
That's as close as I've got.
Yeah.
But do you usually do it out of a boat, or do you friggin' like, hike through
No.
that shit?
I mean, we will hunt water, but usually we're standing in it. And then do a bit of field hunting too. So
Sure.
boat, it's usually just getting from point A to point B.
Gotcha. So like goose, duck, or turkey, like, do you have like a favorite of those three?
Well, right now it's March, so like turkeys there's gonna be coming up soon. You know, it's like April, May, whatever. So that's like my favorite at the moment. But
Gotcha.
you know, if you ask me in October, November, my favorite's gonna be the greenhead. And as far as geese go, we shoot a few of them, but I don't mess with them that much. I'd say that depending on the time of the year, my favorite thing to do is either kill greenheads or turkeys.
Okay.
And the goose I could really care less about. Minus like there's like some times early and some times late when they're open and nothing else is. So
Gotcha.
I'll mess with them then, but I could care less if I ever shoot another goose.
Rather go ducking. I like it.
Yeah, I love them.
That's sweet, dude. So turkey hunting, that's got to be like you fish for work. That's your job. So hunting's like your vacation.
Yeah.
Versus like for most people, they go like bass fishing on their vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like no, that's kind of like your release.
Yeah.
Getting you through the spring and all that.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Turkeys are smarter than people give them credit for, or not so much?
They can be. They're real. Each one's a little different.
Gotcha.
Some are super dumb and some are super smart, and sometimes that same bird might be one or the other any given day too. So
Sure.
But yeah, they're sometimes it feels like they're smart, super smart, and I don't know, sometimes it seems pretty easy.
Sure. They fly and shit, right? They fly.
They don't do a ton of flying. They'll fly like if they get spooked or you know, a coyote or something's after them, and then other than that, they sleep in trees at night, so they fly up into the trees right before the sun goes down and fly out of them right away in the morning. But
Okay.
they're not like flying around like a duck or goose does, you know.
Sure.
Like most days, he's probably just gonna fly down, fly up, and that's it. But they will fly if they're getting chased or something. But they're pretty good runners.
Pretty fast.
Yeah.
They have like different gobbles.
Gobbles are kind of all the same. I mean, the jakes sound a little different sometimes, but
Gotcha.
yeah, the hens make a lot more different noises than the gobblers. They do all kinds of stuff.
Like your calling ability is that kind of like the addicting part of turkey hunting and like duck hunting? Is like
the
calling
interaction with them, yeah. And the ducks is different because it's like watching them work and come in all bowed up's really cool. But
Sure.
both of them are real like verbal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're talking back and forth with them. The ducks don't really answer you as much, but you can see them react to your call. And then the turkeys, like you call, he calls. It's like back and forth.
Talking to the turkey.
Yeah, and when they gobble, it's like the coolest noise in the woods, especially like right when you can't see him and he's almost there. He's like 50, 60 yards away in the brush, and he gobbles like really close. Yeah, I've never elk hunted. I'm sure it's like a big elk bugling it at you when you're in the woods, you know, real close to him. But yeah, it's I don't know. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's cool.
Right, because it's a little more sneak and attack than like gun season. Like you don't have to wear orange for turkey, do you?
No, you're full camo for turkeys, face mask, gloves. I mean, nothing sticking out but your eyeballs. And
Gotcha. Some SEAL Team 6 shit.
yeah, they got good eyes, man. You gotta.
Yeah,
Like a deer, you can get away with all kinds of stuff when he's walking by. You can stand. I mean, not always, but you can get away with some movement. A turkey, like you move at all or look out of place, he's gonna.
They're fucking picking.
Yeah.
you out.
Plus, you're ground level with them too. You know, I mean, they're looking right through you every time. Deer, you know, you're usually up in a tree, so you can kind of get away with more stuff. But
Right. So you do a little deer hunting too, right?
a little bit, not much. It's one of them deals. Usually, deer season's like the best time to kill ducks, and
Gotcha.
usually that's what we're doing. So
Sounds like freaking fun.
Yeah.
So you have dogs then, or?
I have a dog, but not a duck dog. I got a
Gotcha.
German Shepherd. She just keeps the house safe.
Oh, doc. Yeah, no, that's a house protector. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stay away from my wife while I'm gone, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, and you've got what, 3 daughters now?
yep. 3 little girls.
Damn. Are you gonna keep having kids till you have a boy?
No,
Okay. You'll quit at some point.
we're done. Yeah,
Okay.
it's over.
Getting her nipped.
No, she actually she got whatever, she had a C-section or whatever, and we were both agreed we were done having kids, so they fixed her up, and
Wow. What a she's wow.
oh, yeah,
God
she's
bless her.
tough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's way tougher than me.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, you go way back. You've fished the Horseshoe Chain. You fished Green Lake and Spicer. You fished the Alhambra Chain. You fished Minnewaska. You fished the Whitefish Chain. You fished Leech. You fished Mille Lacs. You fished Vermilion. You fished, I mean, every lake imaginable in the state. I mean, and you've won a boat on the Denny's back in, or no, not the Denny's, the Silverado.
Yeah.
Yep. You beat Capper for a boat. I've heard his side of the story, but I kind of want to hear your side of the story.
Well, I don't really have a side to it. I just, you know, I caught a decent bag, and I pulled up to the dock, and he's like flashing a ticket at me or something, and like, you know, out of my hands, you know. Suppose he had more weight than me, he probably did, but what are you gonna do? That's the rules, you know.
Right. Well, it was cool talking to him and Shane on the podcast, and just them talking about you and how much respect they have for you and what you've done nationally, which I think is ultimately you being a real dude and not, being somebody you're not, and like competing at the level you're competing. I don't think, anybody in the state really has had the success you've had. So I guess it's cool to hear that from probably guys you looked up to as a kid guys that I've looked up to along with you since I was a kid. And I guess,
those guys were running things when I was coming up. I mean, that was like, especially Tonka, like, them two is like one of the others going to win,
Right.
Like, how do you beat these guys?
Right.
So
You got any stories about fishing against them? I know, I heard some stories about Shane would, talk a little smack.
Oh, yeah. No, he
dirty.
fired me up. Shane 100%, made me a better bass fisherman.
Sure.
He was good at, well, he'd win a lot, But he'd always talk a bunch of shit, too, when he wanted. He'd be I've never wanted to beat anybody so bad in my life other than Shane Raveling.
That motivated you.
It did. He didn't know it, but yeah. It made me try harder for sure.
Sure. More mad at him, so to speak.
And then it felt really good when he beat him.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I haven't done it a lot, but a few times.
Yeah, I haven't either, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And Leitner was talking about how, when he started fishing on Tonka, how you kind of had to earn it and do it the right way. And I guess it's changed a lot since you've been, but what's the most challenging fishery you've been to? That has just been an utter challenge, because bodies of water down south are not necessarily like bodies of water up in Minnesota. And I think there's a barrier, for people up here to an extent with time on the water and just the terrain difference in the lake. But
no, where I struggled the most, I'm not gonna say one specific lake, but tidal fisheries when I first started, and I'm still not great on them, but I at least semi understand them now a little bit, but that's where I struggled the most, because I felt like you could fish through like the winning spot like 3 hours too early or 2 hours too late and not get a bite. And it would just drive me nuts. And then I would catch a couple and maybe the tide wasn't right. And it's like, oh, is this going to be really good when the tide is right? And I don't know. I just still, it's super inconsistent. But there's definitely guys that understand. You see certain guys that when they go to, like John Cruz, like, if you ever go to a tidal water of any kind, I don't care where it is, St. John's or Sabine or Potomac or any of that stuff, like he makes the top 10 every time. Like he won the California Delta, that was tidal. Like if you're picking fantasy dudes and they go to a tidal water, I don't care if everyone's running 300 miles away to some lake to fish, like put him in the top 10 or in your fantasy for sure.
Sure.
Like he makes the top 10 every time we fish tidal water.
That I didn't even think of that. Cruz is real good tidal fisherman.
Like, every time we go
he's
to
from
one,
Virginia,
he cracks him,
Huh.
So I'm saying there's definitely guys that understand it, the guys that do it. But
Well, it's like river levels, kind of. It's like watching river water levels or more hour to hour even.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to change 3 different times a day, where a river's just either it's coming up or it's going down,
Right.
It's not doing both at once.
Yeah, that's a different animal. Knowing where and when, that's got to be freaking nuts. But, I mean, we don't need to talk too much about the Elite Series if you don't want to.
We can. Whatever. Ask away.
I think you have a little bit of fun, and I think you roll with like a good crew of guys, and I think you guys kind of changed the culture a little bit of bass fishing. And I was listening to a Mercer podcast with Maddie.
Yeah.
And, they kind of touched on that, and it kind of made me realize. And I remember when MLF did the change to the BPT, and you released that epic Wolf of Wall Street cover video, I'm not fucking leaving. And I think that really, paved the way for, I guess, that kind of brotherhood that you guys have at the Elites of, keeping it real and keeping it, what the sport should be in your guys' mind or what have you.
Everyone's view is a little different on that, but
yeah,
just kind of do what we do, and we're just bass heads just like the old school guys. We're just, I don't know, a little different, I guess.
Gotcha. I feel like once you have success on the Elite Series, is there a lot of pressure that like builds up with that? Like earlier on, there was less like maybe pressure. You're just swinging, and the more you have success, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I honestly, like, the most pressure I ever felt was like the year after I won Angler of the Year, which you would think that'd be like the least pressure time of your life. Like, you just won AOI, like,
right.
But like that next year, I don't know, I felt more pressure for myself to like try to do that again the next year, like come close or whatever. I don't know, but like fear of doing really shitty, and like I don't know. I mean, it's all stuff I put on myself, but that's the most pressure I ever felt fishing the Elite Series, honestly. Maybe other than like the very beginning, but for very different reasons,
Is there like a trick you use to stay calm, like Happy Gilmore would have, like his happy place, so to speak? Do you have like this, something you go to or something you do and you need to, do that? Or
nah, I just tell myself to. It doesn't always work, but I don't have a happy place or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Kind of just tell myself to chill out.
Talking.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
They say talking to yourself is a good thing to do.
I do it, all day, every day.
I'm fucking crazy too.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. I talk to myself, but. So who's the worst to live with the guys you live with? Is it the Canadians or is it Maddie? Because who do y'all room together then?
Me, Maddie, and the Johnsons, and sometimes Gussie, but not as much lately. I I mean, I guess the hardest to room with's got to be Maddie. The Johnsons are they're pretty chill. Man, something's always going on with Maddie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just every hour of his life, something's happening. I don't know how else to describe it.
I mean, it just
Good,
seems like
bad, indifferent. Yeah,
he's a wild man. He seems
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a loose cannon.
he is.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Do the Johnsons bring like hockey sticks with them too, or?
I've never seen a hockey stick.
That's
No,
good.
they talk about it a lot. Yeah, I've never seen a hockey stick.
I feel like those rooming things, like everybody kind of brings something to the table a little bit. Like I feel like Matt Robertson's like pretty good ledge fisherman.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
one of the best.
I mean, you're extremely good at. You're very versatile, I would say. You're really good at flipping, but you're also a good smallmouth angler. And then you got, like Gussie probably brought a lot of things to the table, and
Yeah.
the Johnstons too.
Oh yeah,
Do you think that is kind of like something that has helped all of you guys?
for sure.
Yeah. Is that common? Like, what are the various, clicks around like the Elite Series that kind of do that? Because, or is it a little more open than that?
No, there's quite a few little groups of 2, 3, 4 guys that all stay together, and I don't know like what their relationships like, how much they share or don't or whatever.
Sure.
But there's definitely little groups that, for lodging purposes, and it's pretty easy a lot easier, if you got a little core group you're always renting houses with and know what you're getting into. So, there's a handful of those, and then there's a few guys that just kind of all by themselves, and then
Sure.
yeah, so it makes it up. But yeah, staying together with each other, I think definitely makes all of us better.
Right.
I mean, learn little stuff from them because everybody's really good at something.
Right. Because what are you guys like allowed to talk about versus like not allowed to talk about?
Wide open with competitors in the
Okay.
tournament. And maybe we
Okay.
could give each other waypoints if we want.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah. But
probably-
anyone else, you can't say anything to.
That's got to be hard. You probably got people just.
Yeah,
trying
it
to
just
hit
makes
up.
you look like a dick most of the time. Like some guy, he knows nothing about the rules or anything. Like at a gas station, hey man, you gotta go fish this creek and throw a spinnerbait, and it's
Right.
like, I can't get any information. And he's like, what? I'm like, I can't get any information. He's like, oh my bad, I didn't know. And like, you just look like a dickhead, and
Right.
he thinks you're an asshole, and yeah, everyone's confused.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that becomes so gray.
But they
Like with that.
they need to have it that way.
I agree.
That rule's pretty black and white. I mean, there's no
That's
gray
good.
in that. You can't talk to anybody that's not fishing the
Sure.
tournament about fishing stuff. So,
What about the guy blabbing at the gas station though?
well, you got to cut them off and immediately tell them that you can't get information. You got to stop them from blabbing.
Gotcha.
So,
Yep. That makes sense.
but yeah.
How many people do you think break that rule?
I mean, I definitely know a guy that would like let the guy talk forever the whole time, and then after the guy's done talking, he'd be like, "I can't get any information," and like he doesn't fish with us anymore. But yeah, so that stuff's going on. But if you had like a complete wide open get info rule, I don't think it'd be very good. Just because
Well, that's how it
Some
used to
guy-
be.
yeah, to an extent,
I
like
mean-
a 30-day off limits or whatever, and
I mean,
wide
it used to
open
be.
before that, no doubt. Oh
It
yeah.
used to be get all the waypoints you can
Oh,
from
yeah.
everybody game, right? Like from what I've heard
Yeah.
about.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Old
I mean,
days
Yeah.
with the elites, it
Wide
was all
open, yeah. That dude-
get you a local.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Sorry about that.
no worries. I bumped it. Yeah, guys used to get all the juice.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it really hard like starting out. Like I think when I started you could get information for the first couple of years or whatever, and it's like I don't know anybody anyways, and that stuff never really worked for me. But yeah, there's some guys that are the best fishermen on that lake, gave them all their waypoints.
Gotcha.
But at that time, that's kind of confusing too. It never worked for me just because I can never I don't know. When you find your fish, you Like, you got your dot. You knew where you threw, and like someone
Yeah.
else tells you to go somewhere, and you fish around, and you don't catch anything. It's like, I don't know. Anyways,
Right. I agree completely.
yeah,
with
like
that.
I never done well off anybody's shit, but I, probably wasn't getting the best shit anyways. But yeah, it used to
agree
be
with that.
wide open. But yeah, a guy could get all the best spots on the lake from somebody, but that doesn't always. I mean, sometimes it's beneficial. Obviously, it's worked out for really well for some guys.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't know. It didn't work for me.
I'm with you, man. It seems like anytime you get, someone else's hole, I can't catch. I always seem to be able to catch fish better off, stuff that I find
Yeah,
or something.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
there's something to be said about that. And I think, with kids, trying to learn to do this, I think there needs to be more of like everybody understanding that,
Yeah.
and I think it'd be maybe a better place to fish. But what's your favorite thing to do when you're driving, like, to a derby? Like, you've got long hours. What do you do to pass the time? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you listen to music? Do you mix it up? Do you audiobook? Do you meditate?
No, usually just music and crank up the music and burn the miles down, A little bit of
Yeah.
phone talking, but not a ton.
That's cool. That's cool. I suppose, yeah, you probably, you're a popular man. How much do you get hit up? Like, how do you deal with all of that? That's got to be, to me, just,
I don't get hit up that much anymore. I got like, I don't know, 3-4 people I talk to on a regular basis, and that's about it.
nice.
Like, yeah, it's pretty small group.
That's good. Because, yeah, dealing with having to respond to that many people and do what you're doing, probably a lot of work, but
Yeah, it's not that bad.
yeah. You catch up with Fig at all
Yeah,
lately?
I haven't talked to him in a little bit. We usually talk, obviously, a lot more during fishing season. Usually call him up and get the rundown on the Denny's and what's biting, where they're biting, and whatnot. But yeah,
He's good shit.
oh yeah, he's awesome.
That story
lot.
about the Russian, I just died, dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that Russian chick
yeah,
died.
oh yeah.
Died. And then, well, we won't go there, but we don't need to go there.
What's that?
Well, we can cut. Yeah, when he got his D-dub.
Oh, on Tonka?
Yeah.
That's a B-dub.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
a B-dub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a rough night.
Oh, man.
I think we won that tournament
Yeah,
or something too.
You did.
And got all fucked up at Denny's or at Fletcher's after the tournament. And then, yeah, fucking got his boat impounded. Yeah, bad deal.
Pounded.
I think so. Or they kept it at the ramp or something. I don't know. Like, he didn't have his boat for a day or two.
Damn.
Yeah.
You dodged a bullet from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened there. I don't know if he gave me a ride home, went back, or what the hell happened. But, yeah, I just remember the next morning he wasn't there.
You've probably spent more hours on that lake than any other lake in the world.
Oh,
would you
for
say?
sure. Like, times 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me some old days Tonka stories with like Fig or whoever. Tell me one good old Tonka story.
I see. I suck at this. I can never remember nothing.
Oh, you're fine, dude.
I don't know. We had a lot of good times there. One story, hell, I don't remember when it was. I think we did pretty good. I don't know if we won or not, but one time we were, I don't know, it was Denny's, morning of the Denny's. Wake up, like my alarm didn't go off or nothing. It's like half an hour before blast off. Like, whatever, we'll make up some times. We're blasting at 7:30 and we woke up at 7 or 6:30 and 6, whatever it was. But yeah, wake up like 30 minutes before blast off. We're literally, it's like 25 minutes to Maxwell's where we always put in at. Wake Fig up, jump out of the truck. It's all hooked up, rip like 95 miles an hour to Grays Bay because it's closer, 15 minutes or whatever. Put the boat in, run on pad through every no-wake zone all the way to Fletcher's, roll through check-in, went out and fished a tournament, and like, I don't know, only missed our boat number by like 10 spots or something, or maybe we caught our boat number. I don't remember, but I just remember going on pad through the Arcola because boats are already coming out.
Yeah.
We had a later boat number, and like the first 5 boats were already coming to the Arcola, and we're just flying through the no wake right past them, going to check in. And
You flew through the Arcola Bridge on plane.
From Gray's, dude. It was. We woke up in a panic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we're for sure gonna be late.
Yeah.
And we somehow get to Gray's Bay at 5 minutes before blast off. Get the boat in the water, park the truck, and the second Fig touched the boat, it was full throttle all the way as fast as my boat would go. I think I had a basket then. I was around 75, out of Gray's through everything, and right through the Arcola and into. I slowed down at the West Arm Channel. So, but yeah,
That's
we had a good derby.
mind-blowing.
We might have won that one. I don't remember or not, but I think we had a good tournament.
That's freaking sweet. Well, you know how it you'd been fishing the elites, so you guys get back together and it's like good old times, and you probably had stayed up a little later that night because you're catching up. And
I don't know what it was. I can't remember. I just remember waking up at 25 minutes before blast off in Bloomington.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So Bankston told me that story,
Oh, yeah?
but from the perspective of idling under the Arcola Bridge. And yeah, it was Panic at the Disco, Bankston, full on, they were ripping through the Arcola Bridge.
Yeah.
And you, Bankston, and Fig go way, way back.
Oh, yeah.
Early days.
Yeah, all Bloomington kids, same age, same grade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, you fished a little bit with Brad Longerbone when, you... Attention, all smallmouth anglers. Have you thrown the marabou jig? Have you thrown the hair jig? Well, if you have, you're going to want to listen right now. This podcast is brought to you by Veselka Fishing and Customs, a custom rod shop based out of Minnesota, and he has developed the answer, folks. What if I told you you could throw that marabou jig 30 to 50% further than you're casting it right now? Well, Dane, Mr. Veselka himself, has developed the answer. It's a custom 8-foot hair jig rod developed on a steelhead fly blank. He's put custom fly guides on this, so you're really going to be able to outcast the competition, catch more smallmouth. They aren't going to see you. What more do you need? Here's what I need you to do right now. Visit veselkafishing.com. That's VOCELKA fishing.com. This is the 8-foot hair jig rod, but this guy can build you anything you want. If you can dream it, he can do it. This episode is brought to you by just north of Memphis BBQ. This is World Champion Barbecue. If you smoke meat and you don't like good barbecue, I do not know what to tell you right now besides you need to try some of this stuff. They've got their rub. They've got their sauces right on their website. They've got their famous dry rub award-winning seasoning that you could put on ribs, brisket, pulled pork, chicken, wings, anything you like to put on the smoker, on the oven, on the grill, any meat you like to cook, you need some of this dry rub seasoning in your life. But don't forget the sauce, because that's award-winning world champion sauce here. No matter what flavor you like, they've got 3 different sauces, and they are all good. You can drink them straight out the bottle. We've got Sweet Christie's for all you sweet-loving barbecue folk. We've got Christie's Mischief for all you spicy bass anglers out there. And then we've got Christie's Gold. And they'll sell all 3 of them in a combo, but you need to go to their website right now. It's JNOMemphis.com. That's JNOMemphis.com. Dry rub, sauce, barbecue. Let's go! First started kind of bass fishing?
I've been bass fishing a while, but
right.
That was the first year. 2 years I did the Denny's, I think. I fished with Longerbone, and
then
started fishing with Fig after that. But yeah, we fished a handful of tournaments together out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then did you fish the Silverados as an am before you fished it as a pro? Because that was kind of the thing to do.
I did. They had that junior angler a junior angler program, so I fished 2 years on co-angler on the Silverado.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty mint.
I did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
It was
free entries. And
Oh, I didn't get the free entries. No,
No,
they
I
didn't
thought
have
it
that
was.
for us. Maybe for it. Like
I don't think it cost.
you were
anything.
fishing as a pro when I was fishing as an AM, so that might have changed.
Okay.
I mean,
Was the lottery still involved when you were fishing?
like I fished it till it was no more.
Okay, yeah,
So
but it
2-3 years
changed
before it
a
was
bit.
no more, but it was
Yeah,
not what
no.
it used to be.
No. Yeah, when the state lottery was sponsoring, that's when I fished the junior angler. Or
Right.
junior co, whatever you want to call them.
No, I remember fishing that as an AM, and this was Minnewaska, and I think you had won the year before on Minnewaska for the Silverado. And I heard some story, this could be true, it could be not true, that Brandon Moore was like cutting you off in practice on docks and like sticking 4-pounders because you had won like the year before or something. That was like the talk before that Minnewaska tournament anyway.
I don't remember that at
Oh,
all.
perfect. Yeah, I figured it was just dock talk rumors, but yeah, that Silverado deal. I mean, that really got me into tournament fishing doing that as an AM, dude.
Yeah.
And then the junior bass stuff. But what was like the big pivot point for you at the Silverados? Like, because I didn't catch early Seth Feider. I caught like Big Bass Bonanza, you fishing that with Figgy, and then the Silverado Seth Feider, you know, because I lived out here.
Yeah.
What was the Seth Feider like prior to that? Like, what did I miss between then? Because you were kind of a phenom the first year I was an AM on the Silverado. Like jumping from the back to the front of a boat and that transition where you're like, I got this, or has that always been in your brain, like to fish, keep growing in your tournament career? Like you've just gone like this.
Yeah, there was a few years off between that. Like I did the co-angler stuff when I was 17, 18, and then I don't know if I started doing the Silverado again, like as a boater, till I was probably like 22, 23, 24,
Sure.
or something like that. Trying to think when that was. Yeah, it'd have been like 22, something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I started out decent, but I'd fish like a bunch of team stuff in between then too.
Yeah.
And then I think what was the Silverados, like 08, 07, something like that. Yeah, just I don't know, kind of had some decent finishes on them, and then got lucky and won that tournament champions. The Silverado wasn't around much after that, I don't believe.
Because was
I
the
think
yellow and blue boat the one you won? Was that yellow and blue
No.
Ranger? No. Okay.
No. The boat I won, I sold to Fig.
Okay.
It was that black and red with the Yamaha on it.
Yep.
Ranger
Okay. Yep. I remember that.
Z20 or Z19 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the boat I won. Sold that to Fig. And yeah, that's really like my first big hit anywhere on anything was that tournament. And yeah, it was just a cool deal. And then kept fishing them from there. When did you start fishing them?
The Silverados, I think somewhere between 08 and 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2008, I feel like, was the first year I maybe did them, or 09.
Yeah. Must have been 08, or I guess I shouldn't say that. 08 was when I did really good. 09, I don't think they were around much longer. 09, maybe 010 or 10. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you won on Waska, I think, one year. And then Shane won on Waska.
Yeah.
But, yeah. The year they went to the Horseshoe Chain was the last year that the Silverado existed.
Okay.
I think I can't remember what year that was, but I don't know. I think because what year did you start fishing the opens? Like, because it took you.
I think it was 2012.
Yeah. Okay. Because it took you only it took you 2 years.
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did 12, 13, 14, and then 15 was my rookie year.
Okay. And like the opens then versus the opens now, I mean, seems a little bit different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah, dude.
Like, yeah. Not fun anymore.
No,
Like,
dude.
before, it was, I mean, guys were trying to do it, don't get me wrong, but, like, it wasn't like it is now. Like, the whole field's trying to do it now, you know?
Yeah,
Like
like
a lot of those guys were just, they'd fish them because they were, 2 hours from their house.
Right.
Fucking
Why wouldn't you?
jackpot and open or whatever. But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. When I was doing it, there was probably 50 guys trying to actually, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody's kind of doing it, trying, but, like, guys that were, like, traveling around dead set on it, and now there's 180 of them.
Right.
Even more so. Back then you only had to fish 3.
Right. Totally. Well, and there was multiple divisions, but none of them came our way.
No. Well, they had Northern Division.
Northern
New
you mean
York.
Northeast Division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York Division.
Is smallie fishing over there like different than here?
Not really. I mean, you got the Lake Ontario deal, which is more Great Lakes, Wisconsin stuff, but basically the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are they like? Because I've noticed here that you've got pelagic ass smallies, and then you have like more structure based smallies. Like I would say Mille Lacs smallmouth are more like structure based, and like Pokegama smallmouth are like more pelagic, right?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
More Great Lakes seems to be more pelagic,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like, is it? I mean, you just have gobies over there, I guess. Like Champlain has gobies and shit.
Yep. A lot of gobies, but yeah, they eat all the same stuff. It doesn't really much matter.
Sure.
I don't even think they really eat gobies that much, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, maybe in the winter, I think, is when they really get on them.
Sure.
Just because they don't have to move.
What makes you think that?
Just
Or why?
go to
why is
lakes
that?
that are like full of gobies, and like they don't really puke up a lot of gobies. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's like a crawdad's like a smallmouth will swim past 1,000 gobies to eat a crawdad.
I can see that.
Like no
Sure.
doubt.
Really?
And that's summertime. That's when we're fishing them.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't see that many spit up gobies in my live well.
And that's weird because like a goby seems like softer to eat.
Yeah.
Like than a
Yeah,
crawfish.
for sure.
But
I don't know. Maybe they don't taste as good.
I mean,
But
yeah,
you definitely see the fishing getting better in places that get them. But
seems like it.
that could be for multiple reasons.
You got zebra mussels too.
Yeah, zebra mussels, and then smallmouth predation on eggs and stuff. That's gonna make your fish bigger.
Sure.
But I could see like when they're wintered up, where they're just like laying on the bottom, not moving.
Sure.
Like there's gobies everywhere. The
Really?
places they're in, they're like everywhere. Like you can't go a foot without there being a goby. I think when they're like bellied up, dead middle of winter, I think they probably add a lot more weight with gobies in the system, just because they could sit there, and one's gonna swim within 2 inches of their mouth and just suck it in and not have to do anything.
It's easy. Sure.
But it seems like in the summer months, obviously they eat them. I mean, no doubt about it, they eat them. But
Sure.
I just see so much more like perch and crawdad and stuff like that in my live well, even on these goby fisheries that are, you throw a drop shot down there, it's just brr, 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 like
Yeah.
24/7. Like
Sure.
there's a goby every 6 inches, and why is he puking up a crawdad? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's an interesting. I'd never heard that before.
Just something I've noticed.
So you know anything about like sculpin? Like
Yeah.
up in our neck of the woods? Do you think those? Like I feel like on Mille Lacs they like sculpin.
I've had a few Mille Lacs fish puke up a sculpin after I've caught them, but I just don't think they don't they don't have the numbers like a goby does. You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, they're sculpin in there, but the only time I've ever seen them was like puked up from a smallmouth.
Sure.
And pretty rare, even at that, compared to like most of what they're puking up.
Yeah, a lot of crawdad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or flies, or whatever. So I just don't, they don't take over like a goby does. There's not 20 billion sculpin in Mille Lacs. There's 1,000,
Right.
10,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
It's like us eating lobster. We eat it probably once every. I mean, I can't even remember when I've eaten lobster, to be
yeah,
honest.
it's been a while.
But not very often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the sculpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You get out on Mille Lacs much anymore?
maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's even changed a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. My boulders are all shot. I know that. Like,
Well, yeah.
I'd
I
be
mean-
best off going to ones that I never fished before.
Yeah, the
'cause,
flotilla, I mean, they're done.
Oh yeah. Like I had some nice ones too. They're
Got the
just
old
trashed.
Bassmaster aerial map. Just
Yeah. They're trashed.
Yep.
But whatever. I guess go find new ones.
Right. How many people, like, you've won a tournament cranking for smallies? That's probably the coolest tournament I've ever seen you fish. Was that tournament on St. Clair?
Yeah.
Like cranking for smallies, I've tried it. I haven't got like the super same success. Do you think that plays on like more lakes than just St. Clair? And
Oh yeah.
like,
That
I don't-
Green Lake and Spicer, like I won a lot of tournaments on a crankbait on that
really,
lake. Yeah.
like a DT10
Actually, a wiggle wart.
Wigglewart.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
At the time. Yeah, the biggest school smallmouth I've ever seen in my life was on that lake.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, that lake was like closed for like catch and
Yeah,
release or
yeah.
something until like, what, 06 maybe?
Yep, something like that. 06
And like
or something.
07 was like the first year I fished there. I might be off plus or minus a couple of years, but
Yeah, fuck it.
somewhere in there. It was the year after they opened it, and I like was fishing off. I think it's Castle Flats.
Yep.
There's like a sharp break on the one side of it or whatever, and I throw my crankbait, just kind of like casting to the light, staying out deep, and bringing it off that break, and I hook a smallmouth, and literally an area like probably the size of the shop, maybe a little bit bigger. Like I'm fighting this fish, bringing it up. It's in practice. An area like the size of this shop right here, like turned brown, just came off the bottom with it. It was like, I don't know, like probably like 300
No shit.
smallmouths, like came up with the one I hooked. I'm like, oh my God. And that was like right before it was a 2-day tournament. I think it was Anglers Elite. That's like, I think it was that one. First day I went there and like 7 casts, 8 fish limit. I don't know. I had like 30, 31, something like that.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I made like 8 casts in the morning. This is like before spot lock too. It's gas and like 20. Like I troll up to my dot, fire it out there, hook on, big on. You're messing with it, fighting it.
Yeah.
Get it in the net. Like 5 minutes with the pliers. Like
Suck.
in the live well, then like troll like 200 yards back up to my waypoint, make another cast, same deal. Just did that like 8 times, and then and left him alone, even though I probably could have caught more. And then go there the next day and like didn't get a bite.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that was awesome.
Dude.
Yeah.
And like with a crankbait for smallies, like with that wigglewort, were you touching the sandgrass? with
No,
it,
not
or-
even close. No, that
You're
bait's
up.
running 6, 8
Yep.
feet down, and realistically, they're on like a sharp break.
Sure.
The top was like maybe 8, and then like realistically those fish were in like 15 feet of water, just
I got you.
seeing it run over their head and come up and get it.
Damn. So why is that with smallmouth? You like your crankbait's not hitting bottom, and it seems like I don't catch largemouth unless my crankbait's
Yeah,
banging into something.
no doubt.
What? Why do you think that is?
With the largemouth, that's all like reaction bite,
Yeah.
Like your reason you get bit when you're hitting stuff's deflecting or whatever. With smallmouths, I think they're just super curious and they like feeding up.
Yeah.
And you can catch them cranking on the bottom, but you definitely don't have to be. And
Right.
It seems like they get the bait like 1,000 times better too.
Sure.
Like when they come up and get it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
like if they're got to pin something against the bottom, they're biting the top of the bait. There's no hooks on it, and like You're just catching them on an edge or something, you know.
Sure.
But when they come up and get it, they just swallow. Like most ones you catch just got your bill sticking out their mouth. Like
Shit.
they just came up and swallowed it, you know.
Well, and like a wart's kind of, it's super erratic.
Yeah.
Like you think about like fluking a smallie or something, like, or a jerkbait.
Yeah.
I mean, a wiggle wart's basically a hunting kind of,
Yeah.
except it's just, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
pretty wide, dumb looking bait.
Yeah,
but
but smallmouths they're a curious critter, you know. They
Mhm.
see something ripping over them, they run up on it.
how many old ones you got? Like the OG one?
Honestly, I always caught them on the newer
Newer
one.
ones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I got a bunch of old ones now that I bought them, but I'm always like afraid. I shouldn't say a bunch. I got a few, but I'm always like afraid to throw them because I'm just gonna get them hung and broke them off, so I don't even use them. So I don't know.
I got you.
They just sit in a tackle box with.
Collector's pieces.
Yeah,
That's
like,
cool.
Well, I bought them to use them. I'm just afraid to throw them, but
Sure.
Yeah.
With the crankbaits, it seems like they've come a long way. But I was going to ask you about the new power pole trolling motor.
Okay.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm curious from like an insider perspective. It's $5,200.
Yeah, I just
I
found
mean-
that out recently. I figured they were kind of like the same price as everything else.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, they're like
Are
double.
you going that route or?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get one. This weekend.
Okay.
Or, a week from today, basically.
What's so cool about it? It seems legit.
It's got some cool features. It's faster, it's stronger, it's quieter, like silent,
like super quiet.
like silent. Like
okay,
I can't express to you how quiet it is.
really,
Yeah.
like significantly quieter.
Like it makes zero noise.
Okay,
You know, like when you got an Ultrex, it's just when
Yeah.
you're spinning it, and like even for an Ultrex to be silent, you're like talking maybe 2 or 3 on the pedal. This thing's like wide open, same noise level.
damn.
So
And then like Spylock's just as good.
I can't attest to that. I
Sure.
haven't tried the Spotlock feature, but I ripped one through a bunch of grass in Florida and chopped some stuff up, and yeah. So as far as the rest of the stuff goes, I don't know about, but it's silent, like moving side to side, and then the motor itself, when it's spinning the prop, makes no noise.
Right. Well, there's probably a lot less busted rods on the like motor head either. That thing's like kind of
it's
tiny. So.
Oh, your boat's gonna go at least a mile an hour faster with it, just from sheer aerodynamics.
Depending how many graphs you got up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll help.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, that's been like the craziest thing. I feel like the whole electronics thing has been like, like Putin with the nuclear arms race. Like it's like getting wild. Who's running like the craziest graph setup on tour? Do you have anybody? Is anybody like, holy shit, he's got like 8 screens up front or like something like that?
Brian New's a little out of control, and then I'm gonna mess up his name. The Japanese rookie. He's like,
Oh, the one who
he's only got 3 up front, but he's got like 16s and stuff. You know, it's like, yeah,
3 big ones.
Yeah.
Well, is that the dude on Seminoles throwing the little fucking cube spider thing?
yeah, yep.
Okay.
I'm
You ever
not
shake the
gonna try to
dice?
say his name, so
You ever shake the dice? Throw that dice
I
thing
have
you're
not,
throwing? That was
no.
the wildest shit
I
I've
saw
ever
some
seen.
videos on it last year from Japan, but yeah,
Throw
didn't
him
think much of
spider.
it.
Spider. Throw him a spider. No, there's like tackle coming out the ears. Everybody's making
I'm gonna
tackle.
take a piss.
Fuck yeah. Something about high life in a bottle.
Oh, it's
That's
the only way.
like,
Tastes trash out of the can.
I don't know why that is either.
I don't either. It's 2 totally different beers.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. I don't know what it is. And then Miller Lite. I'm not a big Miller Lite guy either, but I'll drink whatever.
Yeah,
but
I'll drink it, but yeah, not preferred.
yeah, and you've been with like How long you been with TinCup?
Probably like 3 years,
Okay,
3, 4, at least 3 years. Yeah.
that's a pretty sick
Yeah.
hookup.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, man loves it.
Pedro.
Oh yeah, Pedro's got like, I don't know how many of them old silver cups he's got, but it's a lot.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, hundreds.
Is that what do you guys drink? Do you guys drink a lot on the road, or?
Yeah, a little bit. We're not partying by any means. Maybe a drink or two at dinner, and
Right.
that's it. If we got an off day, we might have a few beers or whatever, maybe. But
If you got an off day, like what do you guys? What's like? What do we like? What's happening on an off day?
usually just a good dinner and a couple drinks and maybe a few, and yeah, sleep in and rig up tackle.
Gotcha. So like in hockey, they call them puck sluts. We won't talk about like
Ramp tramps.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many is there? Like a lot?
No, there's not. There's a few.
It's like a small club.
Yeah, it's not many.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's the same ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I should say there's like some new ones come around every once in a while, but yeah, I'm not messing with them. They're out there though.
Look out.
Yeah.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's definitely not a lot. It's not like
It's not like a hockey game.
No.
'Cause you played hockey as a kid, right?
Not legit hockey. No,
Okay.
I mean pond hockey,
Yeah.
whatever. There's a couple rinks outdoor rinks at Bloomington we'd skate at, but never put the pads on or nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just a pair of choppers and my brother's old ass skates, and he played real hockey and
Gotcha.
whatever. My closet when I was growing up had a bunch of sticks in it, and yeah, just messed around there.
So you have one brother. Do you have like? Is that your only sibling?
I got a brother and a sister.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both older. We're like a mini Brady bunch. My dad had one, my mom had one, and then they got married and had me. So
Oh, I got you.
yeah.
Yeah. So you got. Because did your mom have a cowbell at the? Your mom has
She
always
makes
been.
noise. She makes.
Yeah,
You don't know
dude.
where she's at for sure.
Yeah, dude.
She's
I
got all
remember the
kinds of
Silverados.
things,
She was
yeah.
loud.
Oh yeah, she had a little hand clapper thing.
Yeah.
And she's always screaming, and yeah, yeah.
You've always
You
had,
know where she's at.
You've always had good support that
Yeah,
way. Like,
for sure.
I mean, it might have been even two people, but it was the loudest cheering crowd
Oh,
at
yeah.
the Silverados.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I'm fired up.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do you and her keep in touch? Like,
Oh
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah. No, we just had dinner the other night.
Cool.
Usually comes over. Well, when I'm home, like we usually have dinner once a week or once every other week.
Sure.
But I'm gone 2-3 weeks at a time and come home and catch up with them a little bit.
Gotcha. Well, like fishing, it's a business, and a lot of times it's a family business, and like to have kids and to have all of that, like you probably have pretty good support group, like working around you, I would assume, or it takes a little bit of a team effort with the wife and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I'd
Yeah.
be worthless without her. Yeah.
For sure. Well,
Yeah. Like she just lets me. I can just fish and she does everything else.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Does she help on the business end at all? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, I don't know how much anything is.
Gotcha.
Like
So
she takes care of everything.
she runs the books.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you got it. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
No, I just fish and hunt a little, and yeah.
That's wonderful.
Oh, no complaints.
That's wonderful. Well, you always find something to bitch about, right? But it's, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And, fuck, you get to bass fish, you get to hunt, but there's a dad involved there too.
Absolutely.
So how has that been? Dude, I don't know, dude. I'm not ready for kids. They scare the fuck out of
Yeah,
me. Like,
I was
holy
scared too.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I was terrified, but I won't change anything now.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have aspirations for them to be, fishing, or you kind of like do whatever you want?
I mean, I hope they enjoy fishing and it's something we can do together. But as far as like wanting them to be like tournament pros, absolutely not. Like,
I understand.
yeah.
Keep them away from
If you
them.
want to, go for it. But like, I'm definitely not going to push them down that path. It's,
be anything you want. Just don't
Yeah,
be one of
I
them
mean-
ramp tramps.
yeah, whatever your passion is, go after that. I mean, the odds of them wanting to be tournament fishermen is pretty slim to none, and I just hope they, do whatever it is they're into.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. And at the end of the day, that's
Yeah, that's the only way to live life. Like, I mean,
was
if you're
that
not,
how,
if you're not doing what you love, it's gonna make. I mean, what? Yeah, like obviously not everybody can do that, but I think that's the best thing to do, whether it works out or not. You might be dead broke or make some money, but if you're doing something you love or something involved with something you love, it's gonna make it a lot easier versus doing something you hate.
Amen, dude. Rather be poor and happy
Yeah.
than rich and pissed
Exactly.
off, right?
Yeah.
Words to live by, folks. Words to live by. Who's been a big help? I know you're tight with Polish Pete.
Yeah.
And it seems like you two have a good thing going. You've known Pete how long? How long have you known Pete?
I don't even know. When I met him, he was working at Cabela's in Rogers. I mean, that'd have been back in them Big Bass Bonanza days,
Yeah.
I don't know, somewhere around that.
Cabela's and Rogers is where he started.
That's where I met him, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because, he's worked up the ranks. Daiwa's a big name on the map because I think you and Pete.
Yeah.
And you've been with Daiwa for, a long time. And, I'm a Shimano guy, but I don't have a sponsor or whatever. But Daiwa's, fucking cool shit now or something,
Yeah, they always have been, Daiwa and Shimano, those are,
But you, brought, I feel like you guys did a lot for Daiwa. And I feel like Pete and you made a good team for Daiwa.
Yeah, for sure. But Daiwa's doing a lot of, they kind of got out of the marketing game for a while and just kind of lined up that when they were really getting back into it, it's kind of when we crossed paths. And I think that had a lot to do with it too,
Sure.
Because when I was a kid growing up, Team Daiwa was the shit. They had the baddest pro staff ever, dude. They had Ricky Klon and Danny Brower and George Cochran and all of them. I don't know, there's 8 classics in a row, one on TDXs and them light and tough flipping sticks and stuff, and that was the coolest shit. And then that all disbanded, but when I fell in love with the sport, that was the deal.
Yeah.
And then kind of when I was getting back into I shouldn't say back into it, but when I was kind of approaching that fishing the opens and getting into the elites and stuff, that's kind of when they came back and started making another push in the the marketing world.
Sure. Well, it seems like we get a lot of shit from Japan. It seems like, they're at the forefront. You see Japanese coming to a new country, not speaking the language whatsoever, not fishing any of our lakes and competing and winning in some cases.
Yeah.
And I know I've heard Andy Walls told me he fished with Talk one time, and I've heard a lot of different stories about Talk and stuff, but Japan, I want to hear your thoughts on Japan, what it does to the bass market over here, because it seems like it's just there's all this weird shit coming out, and it's all from Japan.
Yeah.
And are they for real about all this shit, or are they selling and pandering to the United States?
I don't think they're really factoring us in.
Really?
I think they just make crazy shit just because they're real creative and open-minded, and here we just make the same bait with a little longer lip on it or something,
Right.
Yeah, not nothing real creative over here, just kind of a lot of tried and true stuff. And over there, I think they're just always kind of looking for the next whatever, the next Senko or whatever it may be,
And that's gangster to me.
Yeah, but I think a lot of their shit don't work, It's just something a guy came up with, but they always do that, and then finally, one of them is a player, and it's never what you think it would be. The prettiest looking shit isn't the deal, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's always something
really?
I mean, yeah, look at the Senko. That was a ballpoint pen molded, and I was oh, okay. And then every bass that sees it just swims 10 feet over and swallows it.
Right.
Okay. And then they make the prettiest, most lifelike, bait ever in existence, and the bass don't really care for it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so weird to me. Has there ever been like a bait that you have had, like felt like you had in your hand that no one else had, that you felt like put you at like an advantage? Like I interviewed Jim Moyna, for example, and he talked about anytime he had a propelling, like a uptick in his career, it was when he was doing something that no one else was doing yet, like with the football jig and stuff. Have you ever felt like that with a lure?
No, I can't say I have. I never really, I don't know, never really like come up with anything or started doing something before somebody else did.
Maybe not the first guy to do it, but you learned it from somebody, or you had this thing in your hand that you felt unlocked the lake and no one else had. Like that ultimate confidence level of, that might be,
like that first year, my rookie year when we went to the St. Lawrence, and I know I was like the only dude throwing a black hair jig there.
Yeah, dude.
Like, yeah, that I was sniping them there. But like, I don't know, that don't happen very often.
Dude, that thing was like when I first started throwing it, I caught so many more than like throwing it now. And I wonder if it's because you told everybody, you and Gussie, or...
Well, it's definitely, like they're seeing it more for sure. No doubt, but...
That thing was like, felt like cheating sometimes.
Yeah, it was like live bait.
Right,
Yeah, you saw one, he was dead.
Well, and, okay, you talk about St. Lawrence, but you'd been throwing it a hell of a lot longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Within
definitely
reason.
didn't come up with it. I learned it at Sturgeon Bay.
Sure.
I think
only one guy came up with it.
Choder
Seth.
through Gussie is how I found out about
Sure.
it.
Sure.
And I really didn't even have that much success with it out there at the time when I was told about it. But then I came back to Mille Lacs and started whipping it around, and it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was about it for as far as bait nobody else had.
Right. And I can't think of too many. I feel like there's a few techniques in Minnesota. Like a certain type of jig worm was at one point like a super like way to win tournaments on Tonka. Maybe not. I don't know. I feel like you get the right
chartreuse head.
Yeah, like the guy who came up with the chartreuse head was like,
I don't know who that was.
Had to have been
like,
mopping.
A bunch of people had them before I started throwing them.
Gotcha.
So definitely not on the front of that, but yeah, that definitely worked.
I think it still works, but just not as good.
Well, the water's not the right color anymore.
Right. But like you got them lakes down south where you just can't, like them Tennessee River lakes, when they're schooling on the ledges, you can't catch them all. Really.
No.
They scatter. And I feel like our lakes up here didn't used to be that way. You just jack all of them out of the school till it fucking...
Well, I don't think you'd ever catch them all, but...
I feel like our lakes are getting... Like Tonka's getting more so like a southern fishery that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Just due to pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like, now it's like you pull up and catch one or two. And, before it was like pull up and catch like 20,
Sure.
And, that's definitely not the case anymore, but way she goes.
Right. Well, Rob Storer and I have had the conversation about, like, if you want to go pro and make it on the Elite Series, you have to fish Tonka, and you have to, fish Tonka or maybe the river.
The river, yeah.
Tonka
Those
or the
two,
river.
For sure, I absolutely agree.
And that's just, it's a little hard for me coming from out here in the West,
You're not that far from Tonka.
No, not that far. But like, so why is that though? Why do you have to be from Tonka or the river or fish those primarily to then go south?
In my opinion, and a lot of my Minnesota tournament stuff is based years ago. I'm not like with the trends at the moment. It's all different. But like when what was that? Like when I was getting started fishing and all up until I left and started doing the elites, like in my opinion, the only places there was like legitimate competition was Minnetonka or the river BFLs. I just think, no disrespect to anybody else, but there was maybe a couple good fishermen at each
Sure.
one of these areas around here, you got your little zones around the state
Sure.
where there's little tournament cultures or whatever. I just don't think there was enough really good fishermen. Like, you're only gonna be as good as the guys you fish against. And if you fish a little Tuesday night league and you kick everybody's ass every week and everyone else knows nothing about bass fishing, you're never gonna get any better.
Right.
And your fish have no pressure on them too.
Right.
Like river fish get a fair amount of pressure, and then Minnetonka fish got a fair amount of pressure, and you got a lot of, I'd say, good tournament fishermen. You're going to be fishing against 20, 30, 40
Yep.
good fishermen,
Right.
not one or two.
Right.
So I think you need to have that competition and then also have the pressured fish. And then with Minnetonka, a lot of it was the competition, but then also the lake's so different. It's really like fishing 3 or 4 different lakes.
Sure.
I mean, they're all a little bit different, but you could go fish 6-inch visibility. You could go fish 15-foot visibility. You got a real wide spectrum and a lot of different stuff going on. And then the river guys, they were always good just because that place is always changing, and they're really good at like adjusting. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
We got 2 inches of rain, the water came up 6 inches, and they went back here. You know what I mean?
Scrap what we did today. Yeah.
Like just completely fishing the moment, fishing the conditions. That's why the river fishermen are so good. And then the Minnetonka guys is more pressure, a good amount of variety, and then quality guys you're fishing against.
Right.
And it's the same with the BFLs. There's 40, 50 badass dudes fishing them BFLs. And,
For sure.
You just don't see that in the other parts of the state. That might be all different now. I don't know what's going on, but
I agree with you. I think it has changed a little bit. I'm
definitely seeing more like I think everyone's getting better at fishing. You know what I mean?
For sure, dude. And down south, especially, I feel like that's just taking an absolute. Those lakes are taking a bigger beating than they've ever taken with the forward-facing sonar and shit, which is just mind-boggling. But then you see a guy win with it on the next 2 events or first 2 events of the season. I mean, that's just got to be a mind fuck to an extent. I mean,
that's just part of the game. That's just always going to be a factor every day the rest of our life,
Right. I mean,
even when you don't think it will be.
Right. Even on a lake like Okeechobee, where you would never
turn her off, take it off the boat. You don't even need it. It gets one on it. Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, are you always looking for like that little something different, or are you? I mean, like you talk about different styles, right? Everyone's got their own style, and I think you never want to be somebody else. You want to fish your style, your strengths, your way. That's kind of something I've learned from just the people I've talked to with it. How would you describe like your style? Like, I know Leitner doesn't practice a lot, but like, what's Seth Feider's style?
I don't know if I really got one. Honestly, I just like to freestyle, like, not really have any game plan whatsoever, and just kind of look and listen, and just take in what Mother Nature the day's giving you, and just whatever feels right, go do. And I don't know, a lot of guys kind of want to like, I'm gonna do this for this long, and then this for that long, and I like to just wing it, I guess, really. I mean, I'll have a game plan to some extent, but just kind of fish freely. And I definitely like to get in like a certain area of the lake and like hang out in there, which it might be a 30-mile stretch or whatever, but a certain zone of the lake, and then just kind of fish the conditions, really.
Sure.
But I tend to gravitate more towards shallow water, I'd say. And, I'm not like just gonna hop in my boat and start side scanning all day in practice or whatever. I like to fish, and if I have to fish deep, if it's one of them tournaments, obviously that's the deal. But majority of those spring southern tournaments, you can fish shallow. So I tend to gravitate towards real visual stuff, just stuff I'm seeing with my eyes, and if it looks good, fish it,
I like that. That's, I think, really hard for people to do. I think that's hard for... It's hard for me to do sometimes. I'll admit that it's like somebody who up here's really recently taken off is like Noah Schultz, and he's really good at like trusting his fish bone, so to speak, and just trusting his gut. But he also practices a fair amount. But I mean,
you gotta put the time in no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, and time on the water is a big deal, but putting enough time in, that's what it takes to be able to then freestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And have success with it.
Freestyle is all just instinctual fishing, and that's all just built off time on the water.
Right.
You know, seeing this happened, then that happened in past. You know, it happens enough, then it becomes, I won't say fact, but you know what I mean, becomes...
Right. Muscle memory.
Yeah, sure.
You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You feel it, right? Yeah. You feel it. And that to me is like the epitome of like professional sports. Like if you think about a hockey player or a football player, like they don't have time to think.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So like pro sports is 100% like muscle memory,
Absolutely.
like time, practice, blood, sweat, tears, you know, into that. And I think like we just maybe got to a deeper level here with fishing, but
no, absolutely.
It's a profession. You're a professional. You literally don't need to think about it. You've done it so long, so many times, but there's also styles of guys who do think about it. But like when you don't think about it, is it weather? Is it something you see? And then these reservoirs are so freaking huge that sometimes like the winning bag's only in like X section of the lake or whatever. So like, I feel like that, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. And sometimes there's nothing you can do about that, but that's why I like picking like a certain, I'll kind of blockade off myself a section of the lake that I want to focus on and just live on that.
Sure.
And that might not be where the winning fish are. You know,
right.
There's nothing you can do about that, but you can still have a good tournament. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Just
for sure.
Fishing the right way or fishing openly.
Right. Right. Well, with reservoirs, I mean, it's just you don't have a lot of grass. Seminole and wherever you did, but there's not a lot of grass on like a lot of the lakes. But the water fluctuates a lot. So like, So you don't look at maps or nothing really before a tournament?
No, I do like absolutely zero homework really. And it's probably cost me at times, but at the same time I feel like if there's anything like, oh, the last tournament got won in this area, like everyone else I'm fishing against, I shouldn't say everyone else I'm fishing against, but a good majority of the people I'm fishing against are doing all that research and checking out all that stuff, watching everything they can about it. It's all going to lead them to the same place, you know what I mean? And I
got you.
Think that's... I mean, there's times where, you got to be in a certain little zone or you're not going to catch them, and that's usually when I struggle. Like, that's why Okeechobee was. It was like 3 little 100-yard circles. If you weren't in one, you weren't catching them. And I'd flirt along the edge of them, but I should have just went right in the middle of them, just did it. You know, camped out with the boys, but, you know, I'd rather, you know, find something myself that's not as good than, you know, if you're doing all that research, like I said, you're all going to end up in the same spot. Okay, we're going to the Classic, right? Gussie won the last tournament there under that bridge or in that canal doing the smallmouth thing. Right. How many people do you think are going to start there the first day of practice?
I mean, probably like
half the field.
Yeah. You can't really plan on banking on that. Right?
Like, how could that possibly work out?
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know that. So if I do ever like get in or, you know, do any research, it's mostly just to stay away from, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because I know everyone else is like going to go to them.
I like that.
And sometimes, who knows, I might get one under that bridge again this year, but it won't be me if it happens, you know?
Totally.
So,
I mean, that's cool though. So when you're like riding, when you're free balling like that, you're just free balling.
Yeah.
How much do you watch the moon? Are you a moon guy?
Yeah, I mean,
major, minors.
No. Just news and foals and getting bigger, getting smaller. and mostly just all related around spawn.
Sure.
And really, it probably doesn't change anything, but like in my head, if it's like we're coming into a full moon, like if I see 5 on beds the first day, that like I feel like there will be thousands on beds by the tournament, you know?
Sure.
But it doesn't always work out that way either.
I got you. What about like weather? Weather's to me the other factor that.
Yeah, that's everything really.
I agree
Warming
with that.
trend, cooling trend, you know, the rest of the stuff. The warming trends and the cooling trends is the only thing that's really gonna shift them, in my opinion. The weather will just kind of change their mood, really. I think
The warmer, colder trends
And
kind of
that's
literally
spring
move
fishing, you know? Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And the sunny versus cloudy just depends on
Yeah,
how,
like, oh, he's going to be back under the dock,
Right.
or, oh, he's going to be 20 foot to the right of the dock on the shoreline. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just real situational stuff. And then the rest of the stuff. And that's springtime moving. Summer. Summer is just going to change how they act, you know?
Right. What about spots? I feel like spots are weird motherfuckers. It's like slot machines to me. That's what spots feel like to me.
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't fished them enough to know any better. I know if the tournament sucks and it's going to be super cold and like the 10-pound limit's going to be awesome, I might look at them. But unless we go to like like Lake Lanier or I can't even think of another one that you wouldn't have to fish spotted bass on. There's probably a few. There's probably a few, but like it's with the schedule we have and where we go, they're really not a factor the majority of the time we fish.
Right. Well, I fish Hartwell. Like
Okay.
I've been there twice in December.
Yep.
And the one year, largemouth just owned us. And the next year, which was this year, spots absolutely no big bags of largemouth.
Yeah.
Like we're caught. So
Yeah.
that lake seems just to be like a really just bearcat of a lake to try to figure out what to do like between the two.
Yeah.
Like we have lakes like that up here with smallmouth like and largemouth, but like down there with when you have like spots could win or largemouth could win on any given day based on the weather.
Yeah.
With them bluebacks and bite windows and fog delays, like. Attention all smallmouth anglers. Have you thrown the marabou jig? Have you thrown the hair jig? Well, if you have, you're going to want to listen right now. This podcast is brought to you by Veselka Fishing and Customs, a custom rod shop based out of Minnesota, and he has developed the answer, folks. What if I told you you could throw that marabou jig 30 to 50% further than you're casting it right now? Well, Dane, Mr. Veselka himself, has developed the answer. It's a custom 8-foot hair jig rod developed on a steelhead fly blank. He's put custom fly guides on this, so you're really going to be able to outcast the competition, catch more smallmouth. They aren't going to see you. What more do you need? Here's what I need you to do right now. Visit veselkafishing.com. That's VOCELKA fishing.com. This is the 8-foot hair jig rod, but this guy can build you anything you want. If you can dream it, he can do it. This episode is brought to you by just north of Memphis BBQ. This is World Champion Barbecue. If you smoke meat and you don't like good barbecue, I do not know what to tell you right now besides you need to try some of this stuff. They've got their rub. They've got their sauces right on their website. They've got their famous dry rub award-winning seasoning that you could put on ribs, brisket, pulled pork, chicken, wings, anything you like to put on the smoker, on the oven, on the grill, any meat you like to cook, you need some of this dry rub seasoning in your life. But don't forget the sauce, because that's award-winning world champion sauce here. No matter what flavor you like, they've got 3 different sauces, and they are all good. You can drink them straight out the bottle. We've got Sweet Christie's for all you sweet-loving barbecue folk. We've got Christie's Mischief for all you spicy bass anglers out there. And then we've got Christie's Gold. And they'll sell all 3 of them in a combo. But you need to go to their website right now. It's JNO Memphis.com. That's JNO Memphis.com. Dry rub, sauce, barbecue. Let's go. Into like, we saw just, I've never seen such a big swing in how an event can play out than I have on Hartwell.
Yeah.
With that. You fish Hartwell a couple times.
A few times.
I mean,
I've pretty much always largemouth fished when I went there, but I've never been there in December, you know. When we're going there, it's March, April.
Sure.
Like, you can go down the bank and catch bucket heads. It's not middle of winter or fishing out deep stuff, you know.
well, when we were there in December in 2019, I mean, there's 3 teams that had just mega bags of largies.
Yeah.
And then we went this year, we're like, well, there's 220 boats and 3 are going to fish for a spot to go to the Classic. So we're probably not going to go spotted bass fishing again. So we went largie fishing and had a good practice, and then weather changed and just nobody weighed largies. But it's just, I guess with the Elite Series, you kind of have to like make those. You have to kind of reap what you sow a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to accept it because there's so many events you're fishing. For me, that was the Super Bowl, so it's all I had. So it felt shitty leaving that event, just sucking after a good practice. And
Whatever return it. I mean, you suck on a Wednesday night or feel shitty
Right,
too. It ain't
right.
no different. I mean, maybe a little more so, but like.
But you get calluses, I feel like, on the Elite Series. I feel like
Well, you
Elite
have to.
exactly.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah. You're like, if you win 1 out of 100, I don't know, that's pretty good.
It
Or
is.
1 out of 50 or whatever. Like, you're going to lose, 99% of the time.
Well, Kevin Van Dam, I mean, didn't he win like 1.6% of the time or something?
I don't know. He's won a lot.
He has.
And if that's 1.6, then everyone else is like
That's
0.2.
what I'm saying, dude. It's like fucking worst average sport. The best angler wins 1.6% of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the losingest sport there is.
For sure.
So, like, being able to just take those losses, how do you deal with the burn? How do you deal with the burn of that, and how do you block it out too? Because you have to have a
It's
little
the
both.
past. I mean, same deal. With even if you have a good tournament, one tournament later, it doesn't matter.
Do
You
you-
know?
Right? Do you feel like you learn more from the bad tournaments or good ones? Like,
Bad ones for sure.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It seems like you learn what not to do. You learn what you maybe should have done.
Yeah.
Are you one? Do you analyze it on the way home and?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously you're thinking about what went wrong, but then, maybe a day or two, and then just thinking about whatever's next.
Right. Yeah, there's probably a fine line like between doing that too much and like not moving on.
Yeah.
It's like KVD losing a fish, and then he's like, "That's okay." Like right away, he does not get like pissed off, doesn't bust nothing.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I do too,
Yeah.
but like that mentality of like getting over it
Yeah.
and then going up and saying, forgetting about that, like helps you not lose the next one. I feel like,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. I'm learning. It's a weird sport, dude.
It is.
It's a weird sport. I just fishing south is got to be just the hardest thing to do. I mean, do you feel like fishing down south is hard?
It's different.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hard. If it's hard, we make it hard. It's different. It's more like it's pretty rare, with the exception of like, and even that anymore at this day and age, like post spawn early summer, it's pretty rare to like find like spots where it's like you're gonna jack them up all the time. It's really just covering like you're just gonna catch them on different stuff every day,
Sure.
where like a tournament up here, like you got your spot and it's like you're gonna you throw it right there, one's gonna eat it. Like
Right.
that doesn't really exist down there.
Sure.
With the exception of that either spotted bass or like that post spawns early summer deal. Most of the stuff we're fishing spring, so, and with the exception of a bad fish, but most of it you just fishing in Minnesota, you get so stuck on spots and waypoints and stuff like that. There, it's just you're gonna hit this little strip of bank, that little strip of bank, that dock, that tree, whatever. I mean, it's just You just go fishing and catch them versus really getting so spot orientated, you know?
You feel like you have to cover like a lot more water down there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're fishing longer stretches.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. That's like KVD. That's probably why he got so good, is because he fished faster than everybody, right? I mean, but that's like there's like a fucking balance to that. Like you can't fish too fast either.
No.
But Rick Clunn. So your favorite angler is Denny Brower, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that was my shit when I was growing up.
Yeah.
That was like Denny Brower area, you know?
Flipping a jig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bankson's that way
It's
too.
like
He likes
10,
Brower.
12 years old, and he was like winning everything, you know? He was my Michael Jordan.
Dude, that's awesome. And like Rick Clunn, what's crazy to me is that Rick Clunn's still bass fishing.
Yeah.
Like, what is that like? I would love to talk to Rick Clunn for like even just 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Is it a trip?
Me too.
Do you talk to him at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, a little bullshit and say hi or whatever, but never really like hung out with Rick Clunn.
Gotcha. Never smoked a J with Rick Clunn.
No.
Oh, someday.
Never happened.
Yeah. Because he had like, what was his deal? Everything? What did he kind of he did everything, right? Or power
He's
fishing?
a winder. No,
Winder.
He's the best. Yeah.
And then the
He's the
Rico.
best plug winder. Yeah.
Little
He
bit of
was in
top
the
water.
Rico and all that other stuff, but in my head, he's a plug winder.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Square bill or, yeah, whatever. 10 foot or less plug winder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sick. Is there a lot of like, so shitfish is tight sometimes. Is there a lot of altercations like with the elites on the water?
No.
They show you a few, but they don't.
Not
obviously show it
really.
all.
They're pretty rare. Yeah, everybody understands the game, really. I mean, there's some. Yeah, if you're all by yourself on a spot, someone's trying to fish next to you, tell them to fuck off or whatever. But not, pretty rare it ever gets serious,
I feel like locals are probably the most annoying. Or is that not too bad usually?
I haven't had a whole lot of problems with them, no.
Okeechobee, there seemed like there was
Yeah,
like
they were
locals
in there,
everywhere.
but yeah.
Or guides or something.
But yeah, it wasn't like that spot was, they'd been there every day for a month before we got there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not like all of a sudden there was 3 times as many boats there, like,
Right.
you know, there have been 50 boats on every one of them spots every day for the last however long month or two before we got there. Like, it's nothing new.
Sure.
It's a little different if you, find something all to yourself and then all of a sudden, 2 locals are there the next morning and it's a 1-cast spot or something, but it wasn't like that there.
Right. Well, I heard like Ish Monroe and Keith Poche like got in like a fist fight or something.
They did, but that
in,
was
like,
at a
the
lock. That wasn't even at a
Yeah.
That wasn't even at a fishing spot. So I don't know.
Got in a fight on the way to the fishing spot, dude.
Yeah, at the lock. I think it was about. I don't even know what it was about, but
I don't know.
it's
It
when
was
everybody
about
crams in trying to get in the lock.
Yeah.
So they were probably,
Probably bumped his
fighting
foot.
over trying to get in there. I don't know, but yeah.
It's wild, dude. You ever been locked out? You ever get stuck in a lock?
No, I have such panic and anxiety about that I can never make it past like noon before I got locked back through. So I have not been locked out yet. Knock on pressed wood.
Yeah. We on the river, Dane and I, we practiced the river and we were going to practice the lock to see like how it was, and there was a lock that like blocked us out for like 2 hours. So we needed a lock. We had good smallies in 7, so we wanted to lock down there, but we ended up leaving at like 10:30, 11 because we were so anxious about the lock, and we didn't catch dick after we locked out. And we should have probably should have rolled the dice a little more, but the river's crazy. And you've fished like the Jude and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the river.
I like the river too.
Usually get whooped down there, but I enjoy it.
Those guys are good in the Jude. You're fishing. That's like the best on those pools.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Cade. He wants to come on the show. Yeah. You and him fished the Jude, right?
Yeah,
Together?
we fished a Jude in 1 year. I fished a couple of river derbies with him. Yeah. He's a good rat.
Yeah, he's coming on. He won a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming on.
He's good down there. He gets it.
For sure. It seems like down south, like there's like it's very pattern or like how you reel your bait even is like the difference between getting a bite and not getting a bite. Like talking to a buddy right now, like on Gunnersville, like holy shit, talk about tough place to get a bite sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember when that was like the best lake in the country? Like,
no,
it was before our time, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
it's always been good. I mean, for the amount of pressure it gets and the weights it kicks out, like every single day, it's pretty impressive. Because, I mean, it's getting fish to hell, but I don't ever remember it being like, I mean, I've heard stories and stuff, but in my brain, I don't remember like nothing that crazy coming out of there. I mean, good solid weights, but
it seems to kind of be the most like Minnesota lake, like down there. It's got grass. It's got, so.
Oh, yeah, last time we were there, I flipped milfoil. It was fun. It was like old Minnesota stuff, yeah.
Fucking saw some Eurasian. You're like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
I
did. Like, I knew it wasn't the winning stuff either, but I didn't even care.
Fuck it, I'm doing this.
Oh, yeah. It looked just like Minnesota.
That's crazy to me. Bankston fish Gunnersville, he was talking about that, but I don't know. I feel like you lighten your line, you get more bites in the south. It's just
yeah, bass are educated.
What's up with, you got everybody throwing like fucking fire craw. Like, I don't understand the fire craw thing. Like, that's just me.
Well,
people throwing the fire craw down there.
We don't have much that sets up like it. Plus, we can't even fish that time of year. Yeah, red and orange, that's just classic pre-spawn stuff. We just don't pre-spawn fish up here, and then everywhere we do pre-spawn fish, or if you do pre-spawn fish, however you want to say it, like our water's like gin clear. The ice just came off, you know what I mean? They're dealing with chocolate milk, 45-degree water, like bass bite red and orange in those scenarios. I don't care where you're at.
Because all of those,
you fish up here in the spring when the light comes off, you can see the bottom of 10 feet of water. Like,
yeah, it's like natural.
And then
swim
like
jig
a
time.
week later, they're spawning. So it's like down there, it's a progression.
Right.
Stuff slowly happens. Up here, it's like the ice comes off, and 2 weeks later, they're on a bed.
Right.
You know.
Well, everything's man-made down there in like a valley or a trough. Everything's kind of, it's a reservoir, so everything runs into
like, anytime
it rains, it gets dirty in the spring.
For sure.
Dirty in the spring. Yeah. I've never fished the reservoirs much. Kentucky Lake, I guess, is dirty in the spring when I went down there, but it's wild. Do you does that ever get old, like not fishing for a lot of bites? Like, you guys have to go to like the Sabine and shit?
No, that doesn't bother me.
Not too bad?
No. If I can get a few, I'm all right. I don't need to get bit that often to be happy.
Seems like the grinders.
I think that's just the milfoil dauber in me, you know?
Sure.
Like, I don't know, like, back in the day here, I used to just drop my trolling motor and I just flip till it got dark. Like,
that's awesome.
I got no problem going like 4 hours without a bite, because I know when I get one, there's going to be like
a bunch
of them there. And when I put a dot on it, it's fucking mine. And like no one else flipped for 2 miles down this straight ass bank, you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Then no one else found it.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of helps with fishing in shitty conditions.
For sure.
Or like not getting a lot of bites, whatever.
I credit the horseshoe chain for that, you know, because they're used kind of littler spots on that lake and stuff, and you fish a lot of dead water. But there's something to be said about that. Like, one of the guys who taught me how to fish is that way. It's like, you want to learn, put the trolling motor down. Yeah. There's a lot to be said about that. I don't think anyone does that anymore.
Probably
like,
not, no.
Like, hey, you want to learn something, just put the trolling motor down.
Just sooner or later you'll come across something.
Right.
Might be an hour, it might be 4, but...
Well, how much cool shit have you found just putting the trolling motor down?
Everything.
Yeah. That's your style.
Much,
put the trolling motor in the water. Fucking goal.
Yeah. That's like fishing all the little lakes in Minnesota. That's all I'd ever do. Dude, you back the boat into a 300-acre lake. Everyone else wants to drive and go to the other side. It's like, I mean, we're going to be around this thing in 2 hours regardless. Let's just start here and end here.
I like that.
Yeah.
So Okay. So you usually don't drive you don't drive the whole lake when you get to it?
Not if it's a little lake, and like
Sure.
especially like the northern Minnesota lakes, dude. And I used to pond hop those all the time, and dude, there's 40 docks on it. I'm gonna fish all 40 of these fucking docks in an hour, and then we're going to the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If this lake's full of biggins, there's gonna be some 4-pounders under these docks.
Right.
Like, if there isn't, then I guess we'd just never come back.
Sure.
Maybe we're all sitting on a rock pile in the middle. I don't know, but I'd rather catch, 24 pounders and then worry about if there's a rock pile in the middle.
Right. Who do you think is the most dangerous guy on the elites right now to fish against?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I can probably think.
Apparently, it's Tyler Rivette.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that. That or, I mean, he's having a year, and that new Japanese dude. I should remember his name.
I can't remember it either.
I don't even want to try to say because I know I'm gonna mess it up. But yeah, the rookie Japanese guy, like, I think he's for real. Like, he only fished 1 year of the Opens, like top 10 to every one of them. Like, never even seen the United States. First tournament he fished was on the James River, like a tidal river, and cracked him and just, caught him everywhere he's ever been. He might be a problem. Like, I know he beat the hell out of everybody over in Japan for like 2 years when he was like a teenager. And
Damn.
like, he won everything over there.
The next samurai.
I think so.
Fuck.
I mean, he's only fished 2 tournaments and he's got a second place.
Damn. I mean, that's pretty good. I'll tell you a name I do remember. Joy Cifuentes.
Oh, yeah.
The third. I will never forget that name.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how the fuck you ride around a derby with a cowboy hat.
I gotta ask him that.
I feel like
I
that
haven't
gets in
seen
the
him
way.
running around. Like, I want to know if he takes it off when he runs or if the thing just like folds up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so you have like a little chin strap for
I
that
don't
thing?
know.
that
I'm
he
gonna have to
tucks
ask
up
him. I
there?
think it might be tight as hell. Some of them cowboys like
custom fitted.
Yeah, it's like glued on there.
Yeah,
he
dude.
might just roll down the lake. I mean, he's driving a Ranger,
Like a
so,
custom
he's
mold.
not going that fast. You know
Like
what
a
I mean?
pocket pussy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's only going 68, so maybe the cowboy hat stays on. I don't know.
Oh, he's running a Ranger. Good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah, no, I didn't think about the Ranger being slow thing. I just figured he had
But
like
either
his
way, the 68 on a cowboy hat, there's got to be some pull.
it's a little
some
drag on that.
Yeah.
yeah. Them
I don't
horses don't buck
I'll have
68.
to ask him.
You
He
should
seems
ask
like
him.
a nice guy. I think I can ask.
Seems like a nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a good cowboy.
Yeah.
I feel like he designated as like you have to throw it in the rear box. I feel like that's where you got to put it.
Maybe he does. I don't know. I'll ask. We'll find out. Get down to the bottom of it.
Who's the best guy to party with on the elites?
I'm gonna say Caleb Summerall.
Caleb Summerall.
Yeah,
All right.
he's a good time.
I feel like he'd make. Yeah, I
He's
feel
a
like
good time.
he could get you into and out of probably some
yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
Like he's a big man.
He's a huge man.
He's a big man.
Yeah.
Probably put him down. The best of them.
Oh, he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd have to shoot him if we fought. I'd have no chance.
Same for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, he could beat up all 3 of us at once. Actually.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Not a problem.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Cole, you're getting fucked up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be over quickly.
Dude, those Louisiana guys, it's kind of like a Russian mobster, but
Yeah,
from the
plus
south.
He's like He-Man strong. Yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't fuck with Keith Pochet, I don't think either. Like it's something about the Louisiana accent to me, I think too, that tops it all off.
I
But,
don't know. Caleb's just a beast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he won the Bass Nation stuff, and he runs a tin boat, I think.
Yeah.
And he rooms like with Livesay, right?
Yep, him and Lee. Yeah.
I feel like Livesay would be cool to party with.
Oh yeah, he's a good time too.
Yeah. Especially running with the waves. What's the craziest like waves you've driven through, and what lake? Like wildest,
Lake Champlain, hands down, twice now.
worst lake you've seen?
Yeah. Once I had plenty of time to get back, and it was just nasty. And the other time was that tournament Polnick won. I'm pretty sure I got second.
Yeah.
Broke my graphs off coming back or whatever. It was bad, but I didn't have a lot of time to get back is what made it unacceptable. Like if I would have had an hour or plus to get back, I would have been drinking coffee the whole time, not a drop of water on me. But I had I don't know, I forgot, it's like I had to go 30 miles in like 40 minutes and in big shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's ugly.
You have a marsh. I suppose you have a marshal.
I had a
lead?
camera guy.
Camera guy?
Yeah. No, it was bad.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah. It was one of them deals. It was glass comm, and I'm like, well, I only need 30 minutes to get back. And then all of a sudden, with like 40 minutes to get back, it was like 30-mile-an-hour winds, like out of nowhere. And it was just terrible.
Dude. Did you make it back in time?
I did.
Which means that cameraman's back was sore.
Oh, yeah. No, we got sideways a couple times. It was bad.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So what makes Champlain so rough compared to other lakes? Why
Super
is it-
deep, and it's a pipe. You got kind of, I'm not going to call them mountains, but hills on each side, and anything north to south is. Both times I've been out there where it was really gnarly, it was a south wind.
Gotcha.
Just blowing right up that gut, and it's super deep. So
Is there current in the lake that runs?
there's a lot just because of the way it's laid out. It's long and skinny, and then it, historically is, I shouldn't say. There's always some wind. It's so long and skinny and deep that just whatever way the wind blows, it's kind of like a Great Lake where, if the wind blows out of the south, the water on the north end's rising,
Sure.
then vice versa. Or if it stops blowing, then it'll suck back out. So there's always a, kind of wind effect current on that lake,
Sure.
even when it's calm. Like one year it wasn't the Polnick tournament, it was the Amart tournament, the one that he beat me out there. I was flipping a patch of grass in the wind. I was kind of off in this bay off to the side, but the wind had been hucking hard out of the, I think it was the south the whole time, and then it finally quit on the last day. Even though I was in this bay, there was no wind there the whole time. Like I pulled up there the last day to flip, and all my millfoot was like just laid over sideways, like halfway down in the column. Like all the water that had been blowing up there was sucking out, even though there was like no wind anywhere where I've been fishing all week. So that spot just ended up being junk.
I mean, flipping foil, that's kind of like donezo.
Yeah.
Lake current's like this. Lake current to me is a voodoo kind of like. It's like getting deep. It's like it's not like those guys who live on the Great Lakes. Those guys who like they understand that lake current, and I've learned a little bit about this on Mille Lacs, I would say, just with how some of the reefs erode. But is there a way that you figure out lake current? Like, is that something that you try to figure out, or do you just fish and the lake current's the lake current?
Well, lake current's different. It's always changed and it never super consistent. But like a lot of the stuff we did on Tonka had a lot to do with lake current and stuff like that. Like I remember one tournament, there's this one spot. It's all wind current, So
Yep.
there's this one spot. It's only good with a north wind. And it went blowing out of south. It was going to blow south all day. I look at every time I fish a tournament on Tonka, I'm like looking at the hourly, every hour all the way up until the tournament starts. And it's supposed to blow south all day when we were fishing a south deal. And all of a sudden, like for 1 second, dude, or not a second, but a couple minutes, the wind's blowing out of the north. And we were like a long ways away, like not really, but Tonka time, it was like 20 minutes to get to this spot.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to go. Like right now. It was going to blow. We had no intentions of fishing that spot at all that day whatsoever. I'm like, we got to go. And we go up there, and it ended up working out that good. Like Fig had a little meltdown there. I think I caught a big one, and he lost like 2 big ones, and like he manned a drop shot rod over his knee. He was all pissed off. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that story, but that's like a scenario of it. You know what I mean? Like we had absolutely no intentions of that. And if we would have landed all the fish we caught on that spot, I think we would have won. But we ended up losing a couple of great big ones there, and then like 5 minutes later, it started blowing out south again, and it was over with. It was like we drove 20 minutes to get maybe it's 15 minutes to get like 5-minute window on this one spot, and we got wind. We got like 4 big bites there and lost 2 of them, and.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's blowing. How hard is it blowing out of the south, would you say?
Dude, it didn't even blow that hard.
Okay.
This was like a light wind day. This is like.
Got it.
It was like just a nice little 5 to 10 out of the south, and then it slicked off, and then it blew like 5 to 10 out of the north for literally half an hour and made a run to this spot and hooked like 4 great big ones. And
Well, that makes sense on a lighter wind day, because if it was blowing hard out of the south, you know, it would have more force behind the current going the other way, where like a half hour with a light north wind wouldn't be enough to maybe like push that backwards. But
I think it would.
But like on a light wind day,
I think it would on a heavy wind day.
Really?
Like literally just the absence of wind is going to cause it to.
I suppose.
Like if it's blowing south and stops blowing south, just
Sure.
that and alone, it's going to be enough for to suck that water
Sure.
back out of the north.
Huh.
It's a bathtub, you know. Everything's rocking like this. The water goes up this way, and then as soon as it quits blowing, the wind's the only thing holding it there.
Sure.
As soon as it stops, especially if it switches, it's immediately
It's
coming
okay.
back. Like
Got-
immediately.
Well, like
Yeah.
undertow, I suppose it is. I mean, even with the south wind, there's some undertow.
Just think of it like a bathtub, man.
Sure.
Just a water sloshing, like as soon as it reaches that peak right there, it's coming back this way.
That makes
Even
sense.
if the wind's blowing out of the south the whole time, it's eventually going to get so full that it's going to have to back flush.
Right.
Even
right.
if it stayed a south wind the whole time, it'll eventually suck back.
So it's just a bathtub, and they come in different sizes. You know,
Yeah.
you can get you
That's
a
the
big
other thing about
jacuzzi.
Tonka,
You can
it's-
get you a little bathtub.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like a Champlain where you're talking like 100-mile run.
right. Right.
You're talking about half a mile,
mile,
run
right.
before it's coming back out. You know?
Right. Well, it is kind of a river system, right? It flows from west to east, technically.
Yeah, technically.
I mean, you get
that actual current doesn't really make up any flow. The only current ever you'll see in there, with the exception like right at the dam, would be wind current.
okay. Well, and you have current from boats too. That's, I mean, to
Yeah.
me, that's like the low key thing I've learned out there is like prop wash and
Oh, yeah.
boats running through
Yeah.
areas pushing water.
For sure.
Like can turn fish on, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it has any like something to do with the bluegills scattering or their food or
That's all I can think of, because they're always sitting on the surface, and it seems like if you're on one of them little pinches where the boats are coming through, like you can fire right behind their motor and catch them a lot of times. And I
Sure.
just got to assume that's the bluegills darting off. I don't know. Kind of creates a little feeding window.
that seems to be what they eat out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bluegill eaters for sure.
Yeah. Do you think crawfish play a factor on Tonka? Heard people talk about them like not ever seeing any.
Oh, there's
anymore.
definitely crawfish in there. Maybe not anymore. I don't fish out there much anymore, but yeah, like majority of stuff puked up's bluegill,
Yeah.
like 90%, I'd say.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Hell
and
of a
not even
bluegill
that
fishery.
big, you know. Like that's what they eat.
You think they like the little? They don't.
That's
like,
what they puke up. I don't know.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
maybe the 7-pounders eat bluegills like that, but the ones I catch, they puke up bluegills that big.
Same with the ones I catch,
Yeah.
which is not
4
7
inches.
pounders.
I don't know.
Right.
Whatever, however big that is. It's not big.
Well, I got a weird question for you.
Nah.
Do you believe in aliens?
I mean, I suppose, yeah. I mean, I believe that somewhere out there there's something else.
I agree.
I mean, is the universe just too big to be the only planet with? I mean, I don't know. Life's the right word to say, but like, you know, functioning critters. You know,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Do you think that we could be aliens?
To somebody for sure.
Right.
We're aliens to whoever we think's an alien.
Well, like we're like the only species on like this earth like with consciousness, right? Like what animal besides
What
us?
do you mean consciousness?
Right.
What do you? A dog's got a conscience.
Consciously, the dog is like, I'm gonna go bug this guy now, or do you think it's just trained within him? You think a dog is? I have no idea.
You mean
I have more
you think he's
questions.
more instinctual and we think about stuff? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Do you think
most
dogs think about
critters-
things?
I mean, a little bit, but not like that.
Like, why
Like,
are
if
my
he sees
paws?
somebody, he's just gonna be like, "Oh, who's this?" You know,
Right.
he's not gonna be like,
right.
"Yeah,
Like, why are my paws the way they are? Like,
No,
you
a
know,
dog
they aren't
doesn't
gonna
think
ask.
that, no.
They don't ask questions. Like,
yeah."
like, where's
But I
my
think
food?
That's
That's a
language.
question.
Language has a lot to do with that too.
Right.
I mean, if we made like 4 different sounds and that's all we made, we wouldn't be thinking about why our paws like this.
Well, right. Right.
I mean, that's just the language, like evolving into words that didn't exist that now creates thoughts that didn't exist because now you know how to describe it.
Right. Do you believe in multiple dimensions?
I don't know.
Like, do you think there's another Seth Feider on a planet?
No.
Like, no.
No.
There's not another. No. Do you think there's pro bass fishing on another planet somewhere in the solar system?
Probably not.
That's our shit?
Probably.
That's some Earth shit?
I would say so.
Some Earth shit, baby.
There's probably competitions for capturing stuff on other planets, but you know what I mean? They're capturing, like, I don't know, blobs or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like some kind of...
I feel like salmon might be on other planets, like Planet of the Apes. I feel like they're maybe fishing for salmon, maybe, on Planet of the Apes.
There could be tournaments on other places. I don't know,
man.
It's possible.
Solar system's big, man. I'm
It
not
is,
ruling it
yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah.
Not ruling it out.
So big, we'll never know.
Right. I think rivers are so interesting, how like they're all connected and how every body of water is somewhat connected in one shape or form.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just fascinating to me. But anyway, we can get back to the ground here, back to reality.
Wherever you want to go, man.
Have you ever been trout fishing?
Yeah. I like trout fishing.
You like it?
I do, but like a trout fisherman won't like me, you know.
Gotcha. Do you
So he's
like
no
do the
spinning
Mark
rods
Twain,
with
the
like
fucking Mark Twain?
No, I'm throwing maps at him, little
fucking little maps,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah.
them maps?
Rooster tail, actually, whatever, same
The
deal.
roosters?
And
Yeah.
like the little raplos, yeah.
Okay. Where you been trout fishing?
I haven't been in a long time, but like basically the majority of my trout fishing comes from turkey hunting. Back in the day, when I was a kid, turkey hunting in Minnesota stopped at noon, and we always hunted around like Winona, Chatfield area.
Okay.
So after noon, you couldn't turkey hunt. At noon, it's over for the rest of the day. You
Really?
can't legally turkey hunt. Yeah. So then from noon to dark it was trout. You know, we're around the river bottoms, whatever, bluff country, whatever you want to call it, down there with the trout streams and stuff. So from noon to dark was trout fishing.
No shit.
Yeah.
So like the world gives turkeys a siesta at noon? Like you
Not
get-
anymore.
like-
No.
Okay.
They used to. Yeah.
No shit.
They used
Like,
to
we
think
need
it
to
was
give them a
bad if you shot
siesta.
them afternoon, but
Really?
yeah, no.
Inhumane.
I guess like
too
maybe
light out.
It's too easy to kill them then or something, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where I trout fished.
I feel like the MEPS, I mean, people catch like smallmouth and shit on the
Oh, yeah.
You ever throw the MEPS in like an Elite Series
No.
derb? No?
No.
It's not on the top 5?
No, I did mess with it a little bit. I know people that catch them on it.
Fuck.
Like a real deal bait. Like,
the
Yeah.
marabou one.
yeah.
Yeah. Cut. Just kidding.
Can't talk about that.
No, I'm fucking around. Who's like the most OG angler right now on the Elite Series? Is it Steve? I feel like Steve Kennedy or Rick Clunn is like,
It's Klon and Fritz, and
yeah.
Kennedy's working himself into that, but that's just more equipment based than anything. Yeah, it's Klon and Fritz,
I gotcha.
no doubt.
So my buddy James Chapman came up with a joke that I need to share. Actually, if Matt Robertson grew a mustache and decided to quit bass fishing, what would his name be?
Pedophile.
Meth Fighter.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was James Chapman. It was a
Yeah.
good joke. Yeah, had to say it at some point.
Yeah.
But so, does he live in a legit trailer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's
No doubt.
it's like a nice trailer though, from what I've heard.
I guess. Yeah. It's getting nicer
like-
now. You put like fancy cabinets in it and some new appliances, and it's getting fancy now. Like his cabinets are for sure worth more than his trailer.
Gotcha.
You got black walnut cabinets. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Getting
And he's on a
ritzy
nice
with
little
it.
piece of dirt now. He's out of the park. He's on like a 10-acre. We'll call it 5 to 15 acre. Nice little parcel.
I got you.
With a pond on it, and yeah, he's got a nice little setup now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like
Same trailer, but yeah, he's out of the park, and he's got a nice piece of dirt. Yeah.
Well,
Nice
that's what's-
garage, and yeah.
That's what's nice about a trailer.
Yeah.
Like you can
It is
fucking-
mobile.
It's a trailer,
Yeah.
you know? You can move it.
Yeah.
You can move it. But well, You got anything to like get off your chest? Like what's
Nah.
been bugging you?
Nothing bugs me really.
Nothing bugs you.
Not for more than 30 seconds.
Okay.
I mean, like if someone slow in front of me is going on the freeway, I get mad about it. But
I got you.
as soon as it's over, it's over. You know.
So you don't watch the news then? That's probably good.
Yeah, no, I quit doing that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's terrible. It's
What
really
was-
bad for your health.
Fuck yeah. It's been
Like,
a
I'll
weird
tell you
3
this,
years,
like,
dude.
If you go outside, the fucking birds chirp every morning and the sun comes up and the fish bite and the turkeys gobble and the ducks quack. And that never changes.
No, it doesn't.
Like the news every other day, like the world's going to be over. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure. Yeah. For sure.
But if you just ignore that and wake up at sunrise, you'll hear like robins chirping and it's just the same day every day. Minus the weather's a little different, but
Oh, they chirp.
yeah.
They chirp.
Like they don't know any different and they don't care.
They chirp.
And it doesn't matter in the long run.
Sure.
There's
Sure.
nothing you can do about it. Except get mad if you want
You can.
and worry about it.
Worrying's a waste of your imagination, right?
Good way to look at it. Just a waste of time in general.
Yeah. Time's valuable. Time is valuable. Do you have any time hacks on the water? Like, do you have anything that like because time's the game, efficiency's the game on the water.
I don't know if
so-
I have a hack for it, but it seems like the last few years I've been able to like slow my day down a lot more.
Yep.
Like I used to feel like tournaments used to go by like that and it was over, and now every day I'm out there, it feels like
You have
I'm
time.
out there for like 15 hours. And I don't know how to, like, I wouldn't be able to tell you how to do it, but
I want to know how to do that.
I don't
'cause
know either.
I want
But,
to
like, it feels like it now.
So you like hop into
I'm
a
like
time portal
slowing
now.
down time, yeah.
And nothing. You don't do anything different. There's nothing.
It's a
different.
conscious effort to slow down time, but I don't know how to, like, tell you how to do it.
Well, I understand. Do you know how to tell you how to do it?
Yeah.
What do you tell you?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, it's like it's subconscious, I guess.
Sure.
But yeah, like I don't know. I used to look at the clock. You know, like sometimes times moves fast, times moves slow, or whatever. You look at the clock and it's like always only like a couple minutes later. Or you look at the clock and it's 5 hours later, and you're like, oh my god. I don't know. I just
Do you make a conscious effort to look at the clock more?
maybe I don't know.
That would make sense
It
because
could
like
be,
you're
but
like
the days feel like 15-hour days now. I don't know.
well, you said you've been fishing shallower. I mean, your jig's not like
I don't
sinking
know.
as far.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not waiting a lot for my shit to hit the bottom. So
How much do you think speed helps in like a tournament for like, if we're talking time, like talking to Keith Tuma about his stroker, and the thing goes 100 miles an hour, it saves him. He gets 20 minutes extra efficient.
yeah, that's small in the long run of things.
Sure.
I mean, obviously it's a lot, but I don't know. I feel like I got like extra hours, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
And
not like
from speed.
down south. It seems to make a difference because you've got like 100-mile long freaking.
Yeah, if you're making a big run, but either way, if you're making a big run, you're gonna have a short ass day regardless.
Right.
Like
Right.
if you're going 2 hours, you're going 2 hours. If you get there in an hour and 50 instead of 2 hours, it really doesn't matter because you're still gonna leave with 2 hours left to go back because you're not gonna stay an extra 10 minutes on a 2-hour run.
Right.
Because it only took an hour 50 to get there, you know.
That makes
You're
good
still
sense.
going with 2 hours left. So
It's a good point. It's a good point. But like
I don't know about that.
you said, like you pick a section of the lake.
Yeah.
You just pick a section.
I mean, I'm gonna start practice in one zone. Hopefully, something good happens. If it doesn't, it's off limits.
Sure.
Go to another zone. Hopefully, something good happens. If it's not, if it's off limits, but usually, like within the first or second day, I'm gonna find a zone I like, and then the second and third, or the third day of practice, stay there, and then tournament, stay there. But zones are really relative, you know. Sometimes it's a mile, sometimes it's 30 miles, you know.
Sure. Sure.
But
You never. It's tough to like pick a creek.
yeah, it can't be one creek.
Yeah.
No. It could be. I shouldn't say that. It could be one creek.
Depends how big the creek is, or
Depends how big the creek is for sure.
yeah. With the girls and the kids, like Are they like getting to a weird age yet where you're like, holy shit?
I think every age is that. I don't know. We got one that's almost 5, one that's almost 3, and then like a 6-month-old. So, I don't know. I think it's just gonna keep getting crazier every year they get older.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of like them. I think so far, I think like 2-3 years old's my favorite. They start getting a little lippy when they get 4.
Wait till they get 13, boss.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse every year, but they're fun.
Are you going to be a pretty protective dad, you think? Like, fucking...
I think so. I don't know. My wife says that's the worst thing you can do, but I don't know.
I don't know. You clean that gun, Seth Feider.
Oh, it's
you
clean.
that gun.
It's clean.
Well, make sure you clean it again. Make sure
It's
she's home by
ready to go.
9:30.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm gone half the year. I mean, it's basically going to be her mom's job to keep her straight.
You had one job. Yeah. How much influence do you have on tackle development? Like with companies?
With Outcast Tackle, I'd say a lot. With everybody else, I'd say slim to none.
I got you. So that's what's interesting to me is I feel like companies would want more development from pros.
Yeah, I should say that. I got a little bit with Rapple and a little bit with Z-Man, but not to the extent I do with Outcast.
Yeah.
Outcast is kind of like blank slate. I can kind of, if I want to make something, we're making it.
Sure. That's sweet.
And then with Rapple, it's like, oh, what do you think of this? I'm like, I don't like this about it. And I go, whatever. Or, okay, yeah, maybe.
Right.
But it's never like, hey, you want to make something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there shit like that you don't want them to make? Like because
they make stuff I don't use, but
Yep.
someone else does, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
So with fishing, I think everybody's got their own deal, or their own stuff. Like what works for you won't work for me, and
Right.
vice versa. Like, certain hooks or baits or whatever. There's one hook I don't particularly care for that much, but it's real popular.
Sure.
So.
Well, you like a wide gap and you like a ring hook.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of guys who like a straight shank, for example. I like a wide gap better, personally, just like you. But I'm also a skinny dude like you, so I wonder do you think it has anything to do with like how we set the hook? Because I noticed the guys who like straight shanks are like fucking a little bit
maybe
more, like,
might be.
bigger
I don't know. It
dudes.
just doesn't work for me.
I'm with
Like
you.
I'd
dude.
only use a straight shank if it's like 1.5 ounce
Punch
weight, like straight, like not even heavy dob, and like straight punching. And that's it. Like,
Yeah.
other than that, it's EWG for me. And that's what I was saying. Like, I don't particularly care for a straight shank, but obviously we need to make them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people who love them.
Yeah.
Dane likes them. I don't. I mean, the tube. People don't like. I've never. The last tournament I've seen an Elite Series guy, like, throwing a tube was Jason Christie on St. Clair. Like, however many. Like,
For
like
smallmouth?
largemouth or smallmouth.
I flip a tube all the time.
For largies too?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
On the Elite Series too?
Yeah.
Like, no one does. I don't
Yeah.
ever see
Billy,
nobody
Billy
doing it.
Lowen does too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say we're probably. I'm sure there's a few other sneaky guys, but as far as I know, we're like
I appreciate
the
that.
two guys openly flipping a tube. I don't know how else to say it. I'm
Gotcha.
sure guys do, but I don't want to say we're the only two doing it. But yeah,
That's cool.
I'm gonna have 2 rigged up for the classic.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my-
last time
love
we
the
were
tube.
there, I caught like I don't know, like a great big giant, like a 7-pounder on a tube there in practice, obviously. But yeah,
Sure.
Actually, I think that was for the classic that I won. But yeah, I mean they bite it.
Dude, tubes, I think. I fucking love the tube.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's versatile. You can throw it anywhere with anything. Rig it a bunch of ways. Very, very versatile. The crankbait to me is something that you've always been pretty good with, and it's not something you see a lot of guys do in Minnesota as much. There's not as
Yeah.
I mean, there's not as much hard cover maybe to bang it off of, especially maybe shallow, but
Yeah.
it seems like that flat side craze is like gone crazy, and I've susceptible to that a little bit. And then you got the Rocco coming out. I mean, you fuck with the flat side stuff? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Do you
I
think
it's a more versatile crankbait?
I
think
agree.
it's more of a year-round crankbait, to be honest with you.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Side, because that catches them all year round, and obviously fishing up here, you're basically just summer fishing. So a round bait plays then, but as far as like winter, spring, summer, fall, you could throw a flat side year round. You know.
I agree with that. You like the tiny 4-1 or the 6 better?
I got more. I've got more fish on the 6.
Okay.
I've had it a lot longer and fished it quite a bit more. They're definitely different baits, but the 4, for what that's intended to be, the 4 is probably more realistically the right bait for that kind of style of bait. But I've caught more fish on the 6, but I've fished it a lot more too.
Sure. I'm always curious about, I feel like pros, how much of the time are they catching them on what they say they're catching them on, in your opinion?
Say a good amount of the time, probably more than half.
Okay.
Or if not, they're showing you the closest thing their company makes. You know what I mean? It's not like they're throwing you completely astray. You know what I mean? You know, maybe they sponsored by somebody else and they caught them on a DT6 Demon, and then they show you their, you know, Zuri red craw 6-foot runner, you know.
Gotcha.
So I think you're still knowing what they're catching them on, but maybe not the exact bait. Like if he's catching them on a red crankbait, he's going to show you red crankbait. It might be a different branded one, but I don't think he's catching them on a white and chartreuse spinnerbait and showing you a red crankbait. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So if there's any variation, it's just manufacturer.
Gotcha. Is there anything like that pisses you off about bass fishing in bass tournaments that just kind of grinds your gears?
Yeah, it blasts off when people run like 4 wide down the river. That pisses me off. And they're not passing each other. They're just running 4 wide for no reason, just making the entire river a boat wake. Like, if you're not going to pass the guy, just get behind him. Just single file down the river unless you're passing them. There's no reason to run 2-3 wide unless you're physically exceeding their speed by multiple miles an hour.
Right.
Not like 0.5, you know.
That makes sense.
That pisses me off.
That makes sense.
Because I hate, you know, passing people in boat wakes. It sucks. I don't know. That's probably about it.
That's it. That's it.
Well, I mean, it sucks when you don't catch them, but I mean, fuck, I can't be mad about that other than myself, you know?
That's fair.
I mean, if you catch 20 pounds every day, you have no problem with tournament fishing.
It's valid.
I promise you.
Right.
I promise you have no problems with it if you do that. If you catch 8 pounds a day, yeah, you're mad about everything. He's cheating, fuck this, fuck that. No, you had 8 pounds today, that's why you're mad.
Right.
If you had 23, you wouldn't give a fuck about nothing.
That's fact.
Like, so yeah, catching fish fixes everything.
Right.
Promise.
It does. I can speak from experience on that. It seems like after you fucking have just a horrible event or horrible day, if you can go to a lake that you just can crack their eyes out, it just kind of feels extra good.
Yeah, it makes you feel better for sure.
Yeah. What about rules and shit? Like, is there any rules that piss you off?
Yeah, we got a rule about we have to run a GoPro 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but during the tournament, that's a rule now.
Seriously?
Well, it came about once because, like, in 19 or 20, when COVID hit, we didn't have no marshmallows.
Marshmallows?
Yeah, Marshalls, whatever. So I think guys thought other guys were cheating, and like, I hate running that GoPro.
I got you.
I got just give me a polygraph the second I get off the water every day. I would do that 1,000 times over before messing with that GoPro. Like,
Because what does that all entail? It's stuck into the
Whatever.
light
Like
post or whatever?
it's not catching 5 biggins. That's
Yeah.
what it entails. Is not catching 5 biggins. Like
How much running of it do you have to do?
I don't think mine's ever made it through a whole day.
Gotcha.
And I'm not messing with it. Like
Right.
when that thing beeps and goes off, I don't care.
I don't blame you. You're
Like
that.
that's not my problem. I shouldn't even have to install that thing. Like if you want it in there, and it's from a few whiny guys that think everyone's cheating them
I
or
gotcha.
cheating, and it really goes back to if they had 20 pounds instead of 8, they wouldn't care.
So that's why they're in there?
Yeah, because guys think people are cheating, and if there is any cheating taking place in that crew, it's not
Right.
during the tournament on the water.
Right.
It's someone getting information
That makes
during
sense.
off limits. It's not a guy, doing
Yeah.
something bad that day.
I figured it would have been about like getting footage or something, like over like checking to see if you're cheating.
Give me a polygraph.
Right.
I'll gladly take one every day I get off the water if I don't have to touch that camera.
Yeah, you didn't even look
Like
at a
my
lake
job
map
should
before
be
the
blast off, catch 5 biggins, be back here at 3:00.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't entail that
Yeah.
should not be part of my life. Like if you want a camera back there, fine, set one up and run it. Like
Yeah.
here you go, plug it, whatever you got to do. I'm gonna take off down the lake. If it falls out, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, not my problem.
Shouldn't be.
No, like my job, 5 bags, be back at 3.
So at Champlain, when you took that guy home and the camera flew out of the lake when the boat ran sideways, you didn't go back for it.
The camera didn't fly out.
I'm just fucking
The
with you.
graphs fell off. And we didn't go back for them.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I assume they sank to the bottom of the lake, but apparently they float.
Oh, they float.
Yeah,
Shit.
graphs float. I don't know if you knew that.
No, haven't lost one yet.
Yeah, well, that happened.
They tread right on. Dude, running a GoPro is stressful, especially. I mean, if
Not
you're
really. It's just an extra thing that's a pain in the ass that I shouldn't have to mess with.
it's another factor.
And all the guys
in
that are
your day.
whining about it run them already for their own social and stuff, so it's not a big deal to them.
Sure.
And whatever, but it's like, fuck you. You set it up in the back of my boat.
Mhm.
I'll when I'm back in the water, jump on my boat and put a GoPro in. Like,
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I'm not like, it's really not that big a deal, but like, I think it's stupid.
Well, I always wonder about like you see like Carl Jacobson, Polnick. They'll have like outside the water like
Yeah.
shots. Like, do they have another boat
Yeah.
like cameraing them
Yeah.
during the tournament?
Yeah,
Like
and that's
that-
fine, but then don't
Yeah.
make that a rule that I have to do that. You know what I mean?
Right. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Like, go ahead, get all the content you want. You can have 10 boats following you with 10 cameras. I don't care. Don't make it mandatory for me.
Right. Right.
Like, I just want to fish and not think about anything but fish.
I mean, that's the dream, right?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing but fish.
That's
yeah.
supposed to be. I mean, that's your job. That's
Yeah.
what you're graded upon
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
yeah. You think Tom Brady's wondering if the overhead camera zoomed in when he's about to make a pass? Not happening. I'm obviously I'm
No,
not
dude,
Tom
that's
Brady,
such
but
a
I'm
good
saying,
an-
like,
Such a good analogy.
he's not caring about that. He's fucking
No, he
reading
doesn't
the
give a
defense and wondering what's happening there. He don't care about the
100%.
camera.
No, he's not even. That doesn't even
Yeah.
phase him.
Yeah. Never crossed his mind.
I didn't think about that from the fact of like when the camera's in your boat, you have to acknowledge it. Like, because you don't see professional athletes like you mentioned Tom Brady, like he doesn't like go acknowledge the camera after every touchdown.
Yeah. And with the GoPro, you don't have to acknowledge it. It just needs to be in your boat
Sure.
or on him. But as far as like the live cameras go, it's probably
Attention all smallmouth anglers. Have you thrown the marabou jig? Have you thrown the hair jig? Well, if you have, you're going to want to listen right now. This podcast is brought to you by Veselka Fishing and Customs, a custom rod shop based out of Minnesota, and he has developed the answer, folks. What if I told you you could throw that marabou jig 30 to 50% further than you're casting it right now? Well, Dane, Mr. Veselka himself, has developed the answer. It's a custom 8-foot hair jig rod developed on a steelhead fly blank. He's put custom fly guides on this, so you're really going to be able to outcast the competition, catch more smallmouth. They aren't going to see you. What more do you need? Here's what I need you to do right now. Visit veselkafishing.com. That's VOCELKA fishing.com. This is the 8-foot hair jig rod, but this guy can build you anything you want. If you can dream it, he can do it. This episode is brought to you by just north of Memphis BBQ. This is world champion barbecue. If you smoke meat and you don't like good barbecue, I do not know what to tell you right now besides you need to try some of this stuff. They've got their rub. They've got their sauces right on their website. They've got their famous dry rub award-winning seasoning that you could put on ribs, brisket, pulled pork, chicken, wings, anything you like to put on the smoker, on the oven, on the grill, any meat you like to cook, you need some of this dry rub seasoning in your life. But don't forget the sauce, because that's award-winning world champion sauce here. No matter what flavor you like, they've got 3 different sauces, and they are all good. You can drink them straight out the bottle. We've got Sweet Christie's for all you sweet-loving barbecue folk. We've got Christie's Mischief for all you spicy bass anglers out there. And then we've got Christie's Gold. And they'll sell all 3 of them in a combo. But you need to go to their website right now. It's JNOMemphis.com. That's JNOMemphis.com. Dry rub, sauce, barbecue. Let's go!
Beneficial, too.
Right.
Like, as far as we want to just be bass fishermen, we still have to obviously market ourselves a little bit, or at least show some character on camera.
Well, I'd say you guys got that, you know.
Yeah. Just a little emotion or whatever. Like, don't just be a stiff board when you catch one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the GoPro goes, you don't have to do nothing with them.
That's
You don't
good.
have to, like, yeah. It's just there to make sure you're not cheating.
Right.
But if I got a Marshall or a camera, I don't know why I need it.
Do you feel like the camera, like if you're on live or something, do you feel like, would you rather have a camera in the boat or not have a camera in the boat? I guess if you're picking, because there's another, you got
I guess
another
it
guy
depends
with
on
a
the
big
day,
bag of shit
man.
to lug around, and
That
more
part doesn't
pressure
bother
if
me.
you're
No,
watching.
that part doesn't bother me. But you know, if you have a good, goes back to the same thing. If you catch 20 pounds, it's awesome to have a camera.
Right,
But you
right.
catch 8 pounds, you're gonna be hating that camera, man. Like, you're like a bad luck motherfucker.
right.
Fuck, we caught him yesterday. Now you're here. What's up?
Fact, dude.
Yeah,
Yep. Can't have it both ways, right?
yeah.
No, you've been fun to watch on camera though. That St. Clair event with what was it, Canterbury?
Yeah.
And Johnston.
Yeah.
Corey, throw the plug. I was like,
He wouldn't do it.
so Canterbury poached that spot though?
Yeah, absolutely. I know, because I looked on his bass track, like, well, I didn't even fish there on day 1. Nobody did. It was blown out. Day 2, I went down there, like, halfway through the day because I knew it would be a while before it got right. And I was catching him, and, like, he was fishing some bullshit 300-400 yards away. He seen, I don't know, I must have screamed or did something, whatever. Starts coming. I catch another one. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. He tried pulling in there. I told him not to. And then I had a nice bag, and it was, you know, it's St. Clair. I'm never going to push it till the end unless I have to. I got a nice bag. I'm like, we can go in now. But it's still quite a bit of time left. I'm just going to give myself time to cruise in 30 mile an hour. That whole lake's just doing this, you know. And so I forgot what time it was, but say I left at like 1 o'clock or something like that. And then I looked at his bass track, and it was like 108, 110, 112, 115. Like 5 minutes after I left, all of a sudden he catches 23 pounds. It's like, okay, yeah. I think I know what happened there, but whatever. It didn't end up changing nothing. You know?
Right.
So it is what it is, but he for sure went over there after I left. But he was desperate. He was trying to win AOI and was not catching them. And looking back, feeling what he felt the year I did it, I probably would have done the same thing that he did to me, but I'd like to think I wouldn't. But I know how I felt going into that last tournament with everything on the line. If I knew there was like 1,000,000 4-pound smallies over there, no one was around, I probably would have went over there too. But I'd like to think I wouldn't have. But like after feeling how I felt going into St. Lawrence that year, I might have done the same thing.
Well, dude, I mean, you're talking about, I mean, it's such a big accomplishment, and So what that makes me think of is when I talked to Moina, and I heard this is probably the most heartbreaking tournament story I've ever heard. Was he was in second behind David Dudley by 1 point going into the last event for FLW, and they're up on Lake Champlain. And he had two nice spots he had found, spot X and spot Y, and he lost sleep about it. 1 point back, so much was on the line. He was losing sleep about going to spot X, spot Y. He decides to go to spot X in the morning, catches like 11 pounds. Like, fuck. Half the day's gone by. Like, let's go to spot Y. Gets to spot Y. David Dudley's sitting right on his waypoint. Leading AOI. Catches 25 pounds off that waypoint.
Really?
Yep. And Jim Moina lost Angler of the Year for the FLW that year. And you think about Jim Moina and what an Angler of the Year title would have done for a guy like that, or what it does for people like a classic or like a AOI, like classic for Randy Howell or classic for Chris Lane, for example. Like that propelled their those guys
no doubt.
propelled their career, and
me too. Hell,
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Well, you've got some pretty cool finishes beyond that. Like you've won, like
But that's like either way, that made a huge difference in my life.
big difference, man. Like that propelled your career. Like that's like I'm here to stay.
Yeah,
That's a I'm here to stay accomplishment. And yeah, like to be in Scott Canterbury's position at that time, like you're desperate, dude.
yeah,
Desperate. Did he end up winning AOI?
he did.
He
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice job. Nice job.
He probably would have won without them fish, but there ain't no doubt in my mind he went over there and caught them. Like, no doubt in my mind. But like I said, I'd have probably done the same thing. I'm not going to act all holy.
Fuck. I feel like a fucking crackhead in a tournament up here, dude. At just like a weekend tournament, like when some like Team of the Year's on the line or something for Team Trail. I'm like a fucking kid in a candy store, can't like JoJo the circus clown with a pretty new pet, But that's cool. I can't imagine. Yeah, you seem to be pretty chill about it, but I gotta imagine on the inside that shit felt pretty heavy at like going into the last event.
Oh, yeah.
You were leading though.
I had a...
You have a good
I had
lead.
I had a big lead, but yeah. I about threw up. I was dry heaving the morning before the first day of blast off, and then I didn't have the greatest practice. I seen a few shallow, and they had like one good deep spot, but there wasn't many on it, but they're all big, and I went there and lost like 4 big ones like in the first half hour in the morning. I dropped a camera down there. I knew there was only like 5 or 6 of them down there, and I like blew them all. I'm like, oh my God, like this is how it happens. I lose everything that bites, and I don't win Angler of the Year. And then finally we got her back on track. But yeah, it was all self-inflicted. But yeah, I was feeling it.
Tournament fishing is a very self-inflicted mental game. How much of it do you think's mental versus ability? It's a common debate.
Probably 90%.
90% mental, 10% ability.
Probably. When you get to my level, I mean, it's not like I caught one because that dude couldn't skip a jig under a dock. It's not like,
right,
club derby level stuff. You know what I mean? Like he can put his jig all the way to the back of the dock. So can I. So I mean, at that point, it's all mental, I would say.
Sure. Is there anything that you do that you feel gives you a mental edge, or like that puts you in that like mental position? Time on the water, confidence, obviously. But
just trying to keep that even keel.
Sure.
Calm. I don't get too high, too low. I mean, I'll get mad after a bad tournament, but it's not going to happen till weigh in, you know what I mean? Or check in. Like, I'm not going to, if it's noon and I'm sucking, I'm not out of it. But when it's 3 o'clock and I check in and I got 8 pounds, like,
sure,
fuck everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it just, I don't know.
Do you stick?
Like, that's how I feel. And then a day or two later, I'm fine. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we can all relate to that a little bit.
Yeah. Everybody's had a bad derby. I don't care who you are.
That's a fact. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do anything to shake the rust off after a bad one? Is there anything like that helps, get your mind right besides TinCup whiskey?
I wish I knew. I wish there was a good answer for it, but I don't know. You just keep fishing,
going.
and it'll happen sooner or later,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've had fished 2 terms this year. I sucked both of them, and sooner or later it's just I might suck in the next one and the next one, but then I'm gonna make a top 10 or win one or something's gonna give. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I'm not gonna suck forever.
So you're not like changing shit. You're just, I'm going to stay doing what I'm doing. You don't,
Yeah, not really.
I respect that.
It comes and goes, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna suck a few, and then I'm gonna crack them a few, and then every once in a while you get on a real good heater and just keep cracking them. But it just comes and goes.
Momentum's powerful.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
It's like a bathtub, right?
Yeah, exactly. Both ways. So just waiting for the water to come up.
Yeah.
That's all I can do, man.
That's right, dude. That's right. So you got the Classic coming up. It's like the biggest. It's the fucking mega bowl of mega bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one to win.
Yeah, dude. Are you? I feel like you're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the Bassmaster Classic. It's a chance at one of those career wins,
Dude. Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, it's wide open too.
Yeah. You can win that thing.
Oh, for sure.
You win that thing,
For sure.
dude.
For sure. And it's the one to win. And I'm kind of not even that mad that I had 2 shitty tournaments right off the bat because I don't.
You got the Classic.
Yeah, like I ain't never sucked that long in a row. Like it might not be the Classic, it might not be the next one, but sooner or later, like shit's gonna pop off, and it might be the Classic.
Why wouldn't it?
Could be.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it, dude? What better place than there? What better time than then?
Yeah.
Or now, or
Exactly.
whatever they say. Yeah. Is there anything? So do you, like when it's a Classic? Is there a different vibe when it's the Classic than a regular event?
The practice is all jacked up, which the biggest problem I've had with them. We basically, well, every other tournament you fish, you practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, tournament Thursday. This one you practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday, off Monday, off Tuesday. This jacked up practice day on Wednesday where you like got to blast off from takeoff and like check in at takeoff, day off, and then tournament. So your practice is like really kind of a wash, like maybe get you in an area and hopefully you can track them whichever way the weather's trending. And that's about it. It's not, you didn't shake one off in that lay down the day, at 4:00 the day before the tournament. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a whole week that's gone by really since you practice, and they're always usually they're kind of winterish, but on that verge of spring where it's like stuff's changing, so
right.
Practice has always kind of been a lot different for that than a regular Elite Series event. So I've struggled with that, but I think I'm kind of understanding it better now. Like I kind of underestimated that Wednesday practice. Kind of already after Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like this is the area I'm going to be in. This is what I'm going to do. And just because that's what, if the tournament started that Monday, that's what would have been the deal. But now you're 4 days after that. And that Wednesday practice, I kind of just like went and checked stuff to make, or like kind of feel out, make sure the same thing I think's happening's going on, but you're just catching that tail end of it. So you get a couple bites, just enough to like make you feel like they're still doing what they were doing, even though you're really on the tail end of the window. And I really need to like take Wednesday as a whole new day and like completely throw everything away from the first 3 days and figure out what's starting to change versus catching that tail end of what was going on. So I'm going to try to do that this year.
Sure.
Kind of use that Wednesday more as a really my practice day and kind of forget what happened in the first 3 days. Because, you're out there 3 days in a row and it's like But the second day, third day, you're really kind of figuring out, you know, like you're starting to call your shots and stuff.
Sure.
But that's a week before the tournament, you know?
Right.
Like, that's junk.
Yeah, it changes a lot that time of year.
Oh, it's junk.
For sure. Do you stick your fish in practice?
I'll catch a few, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what I'm doing. If I'm winding a plug, I'm catching them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if I'm flipping a bait, I'm probably shaking them off. But I'm cracking the first one that bites, no doubt.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
is it a 12-incher? Is it a 4-pounder? Let's see, you know.
Yeah.
If I catch a good one in an area, then I'm more apt to start shaking fish off and whatnot.
Sure.
But if I'm just catching rats or not getting many bites, I'm cracking.
Sure. That makes sense.
I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Maybe you should shake off every bite, but I feel better when I see a big one, you know.
Agreed. I mean, that's $1 million question, but like it seems like practice doesn't always pan out anyway. I mean,
No.
a lot of times you wish you had hooked all
Yeah,
of
oh
them.
yeah. No, I still regret. We went to that this Hero and AOI West Logan one.
Oh, fuck. Was that Rayburn? No.
No. It was one of them Coosa River lakes.
Okay. Smith?
No.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah.
In practice, I'm swimming a jig in this water willow, and a spotted bass like this long, like for sure 5-pound spot, like came up and ate my jig, and I shook him off, and like I'm never getting that fish to bite again. Like the lake was all jacked up, it was going up and down and stuff. And I really wish I would have cracked that one because it would have been like the biggest spot I ever caught. Like he was on a swim jig, like from here to your rods away, like that far under the surface. Like I saw him plain as day. Like I knew it was a spot, and I knew it was like 5+ pounds. And I really wish I would have cracked him, and I shook him off. And that's about the only one I regret, just because it was probably the biggest spot I'll ever
Dude, for sure.
have my bait in his mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm just
I got a few
jiggling
of
him
those.
around for 5 minutes. You know, it's
Yeah.
like this thing's gonna bite again. I should have just cracked him, but yeah, whatever.
Well, like, I mean, you can only find so much in 3 days. And you have a 4-day event, potentially.
Yeah.
2 to 4 day event. I mean, you're figuring out a pattern of some sort. And then, so you break out a section of the lake. How often do you abandon, like, that section that you pick?
Well, that in turn comes down to the pretty rare. But that section might be 20, 30 miles, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, my sections can be big. Sometimes they're very small, but, you know, a fish net is not going to leave that area.
Right.
I mean, he's just going to go from the bank to 10 foot deep or 20 foot deep or vice versa.
So you stay home,
Whatever.
typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that fish ain't going 20 miles. Like,
Right.
and I might never end up running into him again, but I think they're making small in and out changes versus,
Gotcha.
you know, major migrations.
Sure.
But also times like, well, that same tournament, I wish I knew that. It's not Logan Martin.
Dude, it's bothering me now.
I know.
Coosa Lake. Fuck.
Logan.
Logan Martin would have been my next
Yeah,
guess.
it's not Logan Martin.
I just want to get the map out.
Anyways, that lake, they got a bunch of rain, and like the first day of practice, I fished the bottom end of the lake. I had some bites, and everything was cool. And the lake was potentially going to flood,
Mm-hmm.
and the lake's real skinny and real long, and they ended up opening the dams wide open, and like a weird phenomenon happened where basically all the water's up at the top. It's just this little ass river, so the water keeps coming and it just keeps coming up, but they like overdrew the lake on the bottom end, so like all the stuff I was fishing on the bottom end was high and dry. And in the tournament, that upper river section remained kind of flooded, so the fish were all up shallow in the bank grass, and I wanted to fish the bank grass. I enjoyed that. But at the bottom end of the lake, that stuff went all dry. So in that scenario, where if a guy was to key in on that area, happened to be the bottom end and stayed with it, luckily, last day of practice, I made the move to the top end. That would be a scenario where a guy would have to abandon
Completely.
that area just because of that. Because at the top end of the lake, you got water up in the bushes, up in the water. Fish are dumb.
Yeah.
Flooded, shallow cover. The bottom end of the lake's like 4 foot low.
Sure.
Like I want to fish high water, not low water. Just
Gotcha.
the way I like to fish. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
Shallow and hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That's crazy. So I'm going to take it to a little bit of a softer note here.
All right.
You and the wife, like, if you're taking her to a nice, like, date night,
Yeah.
like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Well, we don't really get date nights anymore. It's more like date launches, and usually we hit some sushi up or hibachi, something like that, a little Shogun.
that's classy.
Yeah, that, or she likes the Olive Garden, so we go there
Yes.
too, get some breadstick and pasta and salad and all that. That's pretty much the highlight of it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys like Netflix and chill and like watch like some shit together?
Nah, a little bit. We watch a few shows together. Like, she likes Yellowstone. We watch that together. I kind of like The Mandalorian. She's like a real nerdy chick.
Okay.
She's into like the DC Marvel stuff and
Sure,
Star Wars
sure.
and all that. She likes The Mandalorian. I can live with that, so we watch that.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, she kind of watches her own stuff, and yeah, I'm just usually hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. What do you do in the winter? Like when you can't duck hunt and you can't turkey hunt, like what?
There's not a lot of off time. I mean, the duck season, we're hunting because we travel out of state. We're hunting through middle of December, and then, realistically, like sometime in January, I gotta start getting pretty serious about tournament fishing, getting the boat ready, and all that. And I'll mix in maybe a coyote hunt or two and some shed hunts, and that'll get a guy through till fishing season.
Dude, coyote hunting sounds fucking epic to me.
It can be fun. They're kind of like turkeys. Like sometimes you fire up the collar and you got one in your lap in like 15 seconds, and then sometimes you go to like 30 spots and don't see one. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Well, you get like they got like them predator calls.
yeah.
Got some buddies with those. Is
Yeah.
that or do you
I
bareback?
mouth call. I think mouth calling's the way to go. I'm no coyote expert
How the fuck
at
do you
all.
mause call a coyote? Like
No,
bark at
I
'em,
just got like you can call with anything really. You just sound jacked up, really. Like I went hunting with this one dude. He's a badass coyote killer. He just blew a goose call like all jacked up.
really?
Yeah. Like
No shit.
when I mouth call, I just blow a rabbit call and just sound.
Oh, just sound like a dead rabbit.
Yeah, just sound hurt. The problem is that the predator calls are all recordings, and
right.
coyotes are like super smart. Like they hear the recording once or twice and get shot at or almost shot at, or his buddy gets killed or whatever. Like I feel like they like remember that calling, where I feel like you're better off like doing an original sound file, whatever you want to call it, with a mouth call versus doing the pre-recorded predator calls just because everybody's running them.
Well, isn't like the rabbit like the loudest dying like ant? Like
Yeah,
it's
it makes
like a
a noise.
fucking.
Oh
like,
yeah. You never seen a dog or something get a baby rabbit?
I've heard like a rabbit dying, and it sounds like fucking.
Yeah.
It sounds like you killed a city. Like,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sound,
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're out of control.
It's
But,
insane.
Yeah, they make a lot of noise.
So that's like you. So they make a rabbit call.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, not to call rabbits, but yeah, like a dying rabbit call for coyotes.
No shit.
Yeah.
But you'll bareback that shit. No call at all. Like
Well, mouth call. No, I'll blow into on a rabbit
Okay.
call. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'll squeak one if I ain't got nothing around, but
you pick like snowy nights, right? Or else like there's night
snow's
vision
good because
shit.
you can see. Well, when I hunted them hard, I shouldn't say that hard, but like I always had I didn't do much of the night hunting, but like that first like 5 minutes of twilight in the morning, like before it's light, that's when I called most of the ones, and I haven't killed that many coyotes, but the ones I had success with were right at that little window. But nighttime's good too. Yeah, middle of the day is like no option.
You can't. Yeah, they don't.
No,
really
even
do
in the mornings, dude. Like, say sunset 7:30, like really like 6:50 to 7:10 was kind of your window, and after 7:10 on a 7:30 sunrise, it's done.
Really.
Yeah.
Fucking nighthawks.
In this state, I mean, they go out west, they call them in all day, but
Sure.
I think a lot more coyotes, a lot less pressure. And, Minnesota's a tough state for critters, especially recently. It's just we got a lot of outdoorsmen.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah.
You hear people bitch about deer stuff, but like,
No, I
what's-
mean deer opener, gun deer opener. There's like 500,000 people hunting in the state.
it's like walleye opener.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like everybody loves the openers, man. Same deal with duck opener. Everybody's out there. Like the duck opening weekend is like the last weekend I'd care to hunt.
Yeah.
It's just a
You don't
shit
even
show
fuck
every
around.
time. Yeah, 'cause everybody's got some spot they've been going to since they were a kid, and like I kind of just go wherever the ducks are, you know. And then you
Yeah.
always end up you're out there set up 2 hours before light, and some guy rolls in 5 minutes before shooting time. I've been hunting here since 1984, and it's like, well, fuck, dude. I don't know. Like I saw birds
Sorry,
here
bud.
yesterday. We're here tonight. Like I don't know what to tell you. So like I don't even go out on opener. Just let them have it. And it's like anything. They do it for a weekend, and then
And you're done.
they're done.
Yeah. They shot their little spike buck.
Yeah,
and call it
exactly.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That's wild to me. I'm not a hunter. Not a hunter. I'd love to. I like
Yeah.
shooting. What's nice about coyotes is like you can get them with like AR shit. Like
Yeah,
you
well,
can-
they're wide open. They're
Yeah.
pretty much
Like,
lawless.
no gun limits,
Yeah,
so
you can
that's
shoot 'em
like-
at night, spotlight, run them with dogs.
Can you shoot them out of a vehicle?
I mean, people do. I don't know if it's legal or not, but they definitely shoot them out of trucks. In which it's a coyote. I got no problem with that. I don't know if it's legal or not. It might be.
I mean, if you're west of fucking Wilmer to the Dakotas, I mean, you might as well.
Oh yeah, it's happening every day.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I don't know if it's legal or not, but
For sure.
yeah.
That Oahe Lake seems kind of like a different ass body of water / like smallmouth to fish for. Like watching people on Oahe, it looked like a challenge, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's-
I don't know.
it's supposed to be chock full of them, right?
I went there in pre-practice basically a year before that tournament. Like maybe that tournament was in August and I was there in September or something the year before. But when I was there the year before, it was probably the finest smallmouth fishing I'd ever seen in my life.
Really?
Like dumb. Like I thought it was gonna basically what it took to win that tournament is what I thought it was gonna take to get paid there.
Damn.
After pre-practicing it, and yeah, it just changed a bunch. Fish got really spread out and smart, and yeah, when I went in pre-practice, I'd never seen anything like it. Like you'd catch a fish, and the entire school would just come and sit like 5 to 10 feet below the surface under your boat, like 50 to 100 of them, and you could just drop something over the side and just catch them till you caught every single one of them.
Damn.
Like I'd never seen anything like it. And then we went back there for the tournament, and it wasn't like that at all. And it was kind of a grind, but
Was
yeah.
the bite, like the type of bite, similar? And there's just more of them and easier to catch?
a little bit, but
Yeah.
not really. They got more bottom related. It was so easy to catch them before. I don't even know if that was really the bite that they wanted, but it was just kind of the best presentation for what they were doing. Like I said, they're all just come sit right underneath your boat, like St.
Right.
Clair back in the day, but times 100. And I would just Demiki rig them, but they were 5 foot under your boat. It was the best technique, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over like 30 feet of water, you just drop a fluke on a jig head down there, and it was like tuna fishing. I don't know.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah. And then, I mean, they still bet that kind of stuff in the tournament, but it was nothing like that. Like you'd catch one, they'd all scatter.
Really?
Yeah. Where that when I went there the year before, you'd catch one, they'd all come sit under your boat. Like,
Well, that's
I don't know.
weird because it's not like the lake gets that much pressure.
no.
You
I
know?
mean, whatever pressure they got was from the 20 guys that went in pre-practice it the year before, and
Right.
nothing since then. So I don't know why I don't think it was pressure. I think it was.
Mood?
Well, I think they're real pelagic in that lake, and then like the food source might not have been in the zone we were in for that tournament. And that might have had a lot to do with it because I was seeing like a bunch of those river mullet when I was there the year before, and I didn't really see them when we went back the year that we had the tournament.
River mullet.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what they're called. Huh.
They were like kind of a 6-inch shad or something, but that's what they were all eating.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's wild.
Yeah.
So, Bassmaster Classic. When do you leave? A couple weeks?
No, I'm leaving this week, like 4 or 5 days.
Knoxville's a cool town.
Yeah.
Knoxville's. I got drunk in Knoxville once. It was epic.
Yeah.
Knoxville's fun.
Oh, it's a good spot for the Classic.
Yeah. I feel like you're going to, like, catch them on a plug, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think so, too.
I think you're going to catch them on a shallow plug. That's just my hunch.
I got a few tied on.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Go burn it down, dude.
I think, yeah, we'll see. I mean, you never know. Maybe Gus, he'll kick everybody's ass on a Demiki rig, but I don't know.
I mean, you can test positive and test negative.
Yeah.
Or stay positive and test negative. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I know the whole state of Minnesota will be rooting for you. This has been fucking blast talking to you here.
Yeah.
We didn't get into the whiskey, maybe for next time, but it was good having some high lifes with you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate
we'll close it out, but thanks for making time out of your busy schedule, dude. I know you got kids, a wife that probably just want to see you, so thanks for taking the time to come out here.
Yeah, no problem.
Means
Thanks
the
for
world.
having me.
And the galaxy's ever expanding, and aliens are real. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.